Welcome all. Hold on. Let me add Gina. Welcome all to the Red Pill, part of DeFi Crypto and Airdrops. And tonight we have on our panel myself. We got Jeff, the BRC142. We got Twice Sliced Gina, and we got Colin looking like he's mad dogging us. He's like he's ready to go off. He's been reading too much freaking right wing news. He's about to get lit. Man.
What's up, everyone?
Hi.
Hi.
So, I got a couple.
That's your response. You're just like, man, that's a thing a guy did.
What?
You're just like, man, that's a thing a guy did.
Absolutely.
Man.
So, Colin, you've been sending me some stuff all day on the messaging.
You're not supposed to tell them about the porn I send.
Oh, well, you know, the gay porn, I mean, that's just kind of, what we always do. So
it's only gay if you're into the dick part.
Well, and if you make eye contact.
Yeah, exactly. If the balls touch.
Make eye contact, it's definitely gay.
Hey, when the lights are off, all the holes are the same.
He said that too much conviction.
Right foot. All right.
Oh, man.
So, how's everybody doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Breaking TOS on Twitch. Here's my grippers.
Oh my god. I can't get the image of your nipples out of my brain.
Huh?
I can't get your nipples out of my brain.
Nickels?
As long as you don't get them into your mouth, we're good with Hapu.
Yeah.
Yeah, so man, I might have to do a custom freaking overlay here in a minute if we get any more people showing up. I made the mistake of like freaking messaging like I don't know, I think it's like 6 or 7 people. I know 2 aren't going to make it. Taylor and Texas Jeff aren't going to make it. Texas Jeff is working, and Taylor is at my nephew's wrestling tournament. I guess he's going for first place. What's it? For district. I guess he's for first place in the district. So
awesome.
No,
I got a guy I want to introduce you to as well that I think you'll really vibe with. Called the Total Tool, and he's actually streams on Arena sometimes. And I met him through Twitch, and he is right up your alley, man. Some of the conversations we have just go deep. You'll like him.
Nice.
I'll introduce you.
Oh, for sure. Well, maybe we'll have him on the show.
Absolutely, it'll be good content.
So what do you all want to talk about
David's
tonight?
in the wing. David's in the wing.
Oh, David's in the wing. Oh shit.
Oh, Savannah.
What's up?
Hey,
L'chaim.
Surprise.
Oh, the fucking Jew is back.
Oh, shit.
How you doing?
Oh,
I can't read Arena chat, by the way, because my desk is my computer's out of commission. My desk is I've got a new desk. I've been staring at it forever. It's a new it's a standing desk. You push the button, it goes. The setup is a pain. Got to move everything up from the other desk over, and I've been working on that for the past couple days. And
Did you ever find those missing bolts? Those missing screws?
I don't think there were any missing screws.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so I'm really confused about that. So whatever, we're good. Yeah.
Colin, don't you hate it when you get a piece of IKEA furniture, you build the thing, and then there's like 2 screws left over? You don't know.
You're breaking up really bad, David.
Oh man.
I don't hate it. I think extra screws it's always better to screw more.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Colin.
Sweet.
There you go, David.
Yeah, better.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I already have a buzz. Everybody out there, drink it if you got it, smoke it if you got it. Oh, there you go.
Sounds
Colin's
good.
vaping. Colin's vaping. Oh, she got what do you got there?
Soju?
Soju.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can spot
Lychee.
soju. Dude, oh, you just do it straight. In Korea, we used to mix it with pineapple juice.
Oh, in the Philippines, they take soju and this like yogurt drink and mix it with Sprite.
David's getting really offended by this conversation.
I know. I know.
So what's up, David?
Oh man, just looking at markets, taking a dump, and pretty happy about that because I'm short everything.
Nice.
Yeah, so things are good, man. Things are really good.
Fuck you.
Entered a bunch of positions today. Like life is good, man. I'm happy.
Yeah, fuck you.
Mhm.
He's out of California.
Dude,
He
fuck
escaped
California.
California.
No, I was able to get out, man. I'm never going back. I've realized that being down here in Florida for just a week that I've been paying my entire life like double or triple for everything. Like prices in Florida for most things are literally half or more or less than half of what I was paying for literally fucking everything, dude. In California, it's like I was getting ripped off.
Honestly,
The gas prices alone, man.
Well, it's the way most liberal states are. New York, it's like
Yeah.
that. Washington, it's like
Yeah.
that. Oregon, it's like that. California's like that.
Virginia's about to be like that.
Yeah.
Oh no, not Virginia.
Yeah,
Virginia.
Virginia.
Damn it.
Yeah,
And
man.
there's West Virginia.
Virginia's
West Virginia.
Virginia's getting so torn up that it's no longer going to have the word virgin in its name.
Oh man.
It's going to be
Dude.
It's going to
Sledina.
be defiled Virginia.
From the back.
Sledina.
Sledina.
Raising a bunch of taxes and shit now. Virginia?
Yes, Sledina. I'm calling it that from now on. We no longer have the right to the word virgin because we got fucked by the government.
That's right.
Isn't Virginia kind of like the government though? Like, aren't there like in that tri-state area? Isn't like that where most of the government stuff is?
So Northern Virginia, Southeast Virginia. So, all right, hold on. Let me explain the topology of Virginia. There's Southeast Virginia, which is your Hampton Roads area, highly militarized, leans Republican, except for it's like more than 50% Black community, which also leans Democrat. So it really fluctuates. Super purple. And then you got because actually down there, not all the Black people vote Democrat. Some of them are Republican. Like it's kind of crazy because of the military. So you got the military area, boom, down there, still kind of blue leaning, but that's like more of a modern thing. Then you got Richmond, extremely deep blue. Like it's just a blue area, but then you go right outside Richmond just a little bit because the city limits are only so far, and it's super deep red. So it's kind of like an inverse nipple. Like it's like the areola is like, yeah, and so like it's like a nipple if it was cold outside and like the tip just froze. So like that's Richmond area, and then you got like north. Everywhere else is fucking red as fuck. I mean, just deep. The deepest red humanly possible. And then like I actually went to a camp out in just outside Powhite County. What's it called? It's literally spelled Powhite County. You want to guess how it votes? So it's called Powhite though.
Yeah.
So Powhite County and like I forget what the actual place is called. Anyway, it's another county next to it, near it. And go to this camp out there, and I'm hanging out, and there's a bunch of hippies and cool people and stuff. And then I go just over to the people who are actually running the whole thing, and they're all like dropping N-bombs and then I find out they're Klansmen. And I'm like, what did I get myself the fuck into? They made good jungle juice. So anyway, that was back when I drank. So like that was that day.
No big deal. Colin went to a Klan rally and drank jungle juice.
It wasn't a rally. It was a bunch of hippies, and then it was just like the people who owned the land. And so it was fucking retarded. Anyway, so like yeah, it's one of those situations you get into, and it's just like it's like the narrator comes in and is like and then he found out where he really was. So like that happened. But like that's like Virginia, and then you got most of Virginia, really. That's what I consider actual Virginia. And then you go northern Virginia, where the majority of the population is, and that is where I live right now. And it is all government. I mean,
all government
contractors,
workers.
everything. Did you know that the richest county in the country is Loudoun County, the one county over from me? And then the third
Paul,
richest.
I've heard horrible things about Loudoun County.
It's beautiful, but the school system is fucking retarded. But it's beautiful.
That's what the school system. Yeah,
but it's a good school system. Yeah. Like it's like one of the top school systems in the country.
Well, hold on. I don't want to get too nuanced here, to, and then take up the whole show with learning the counties and the demographics.
Yeah. Like, but the point is, I'm trying to say is like you say this. There's the DMV area. This is what I want to explain. The DMV area, and it's D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, and those are the outer limits. You got Bethesda area, you got Loudoun County, you got Fairfax County, Arlington, you got D.C., you got all these areas that are just like right outside of D.C., and that's where all the government contractors live, who depend on the government paying them in order for them to make a huge fucking living. And when I say huge, I mean with TCI with Poly, you're getting like $400,000 a year. Right. So like, and ridiculous benefits. So like, this is what they're protecting. Their special interest in this area is protecting sugar daddy government, paying them ridiculous salaries to do what is amount of fucking shitty work. And one of the things that I learned while working briefly for 1 year with a Section 8A government contractor in Tyson's Corner is that they don't do any fucking real work. And what they'll do is they'll have like they need like 2 developers.
Government employees can't get fired.
Well, these are contractors. Most of them are contractors.
Most of the contractors that can't even get fired.
They don't need to fire them because they're just getting paid. So the benefit of this is here's how the government contracts work.
The way government works is nothing is incentivized properly. Like you can do a shitty job and you keep your job.
Correct.
It doesn't matter.
So they'll need like 2 to 3 developers to do a project, but they'll bill the government for 30, which means they hire a bunch of people who don't know how to do the job or are unqualified to fill up seats. And their literal job, their dream job, is to sit on ass. I'm not kidding. And they brag about it. And so like, this is what turned me Republican. Like things like this is what turned me Republican, where I'm like, that's my money. I paid 7 figures in taxes 1 year. And I'm like, what the fuck am I paying for? So like, this is the problems that we're trying to get when they say reduce, fraud, waste, and abuse. This is the waste. The area I live in is the waste. And of course, there's this huge immune response to losing that money. But of course, once they've lost it, that population goes elsewhere because they can't stay here. There's no fucking jobs. So that reduces the Democrats' population. So the Democrats went ham on trying to get elected, the governorship, the state house and senate, and basically take over the entire government last year. And they did. And as a result, they put in some of the most like an enormous swath of like just the most retarded, like left-leaning politics they could. And they tried to gerrymander the state because they know they're going to be losing it if they don't keep their Northern Virginia population intact. So yeah, it's a communist state now.
All right, let's jump over to this. You sent me this earlier, and this is kind of the reason why I moved right, was because of people saying stuff like this.
This is time for a revolution.
Can you hear it?
It's time for it, and they don't even know that's what they're starting. Some very rich old white men are exerting their power to suppress our own people, thus creating a feeling of civil war in the streets, preparing the haters to hate, teaching them how to shoot. They're not even trained right, to kill. This is all a preparation for a very insidious problem that's happening in our world. And for me, I have to speak out that we will not be iced out. This is not going to happen. They can't take us all down. If the whole world showed up on on Putin's doorstep or on the Iranians'
Listen
doorstep
to what he
or
says
in
next.
Washington, it would they'll kill 550 million, however, but the rest of us would survive with a new. This is time for a revolution. It's time for it, and they don't even know that's what they're starting.
Yeah, okay,
But we
you
have to
guy
be
with your
strong enough
fucking ascot or sweater or whatever and your little faggy fucking glasses. Seriously, you think you're going to win the fucking revolution against Bubba? Go suck a dick. You're throwing them to the fucking pyre, you idiot.
Bro, I really liked him as an actor. I really used to like him. And
Anyway.
what the fuck, man? Like, he was a badass in all those shows.
Well, you see a lot of these celebrities with all this money and they're talking a big game, and it's like, have you ever been in an altercation before? Like, not acting?
They're just also out of touch. I mean, they've been in their little ivory towers for so long. I don't, some of them came from, modest beginnings, but I think it's been so long and they're just so used to everybody, treating everything that comes out of their mouth as this like great wisdom. Half of them have no clue what's going on out there. I mean, you got, all of these, organized protests, and it's being reported that a lot of them are, funded by NGOs. I mean, there's a bunch of evidence that I've been watching that, they're getting paid using our tax dollars.
Indian guy. There's an Indian guy, a billionaire, paying. He's a vocal communist, and he is the one paying a tremendous amount to do this.
Yeah, he lives in mainland China.
What's his name? I forget, because of the S, doesn't it?
Yeah. Singh, I think.
No, it's not Singh. It's something more complicated.
They're all named Singh. Twice Slice. What do you think? What do you think, Twice Slice, about these fucking NGOs and shit? What do you think?
All the chaos.
Well, I think the majority of the I feel like some of them are trying to win favor, like curry favor over, the people that are against everything that's going on. Honestly, I don't know how to feel about it.
Well, feel free to speak freely. You can have any opinion you want here. We're not going to attack you. This is a safe space. You can be left, you can be right. That's what this is about. We want to have like open discussions from different points of view.
It's not safe. No such thing as a safe space.
I'll start dropping bows. I'll get Jeff, and then I'll get Colin.
It's a moderated space, not a safe space. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Right, go ahead, Gina.
Well, there's a bunch of things that I've seen. Like ICE killed another person. I know, Colin.
Welcome to the Klan rally.
Some of the people that were killed were like white. Also, I've seen the government speaking upon the bonuses that they're receiving. Each ICE employee is receiving $45,000 bonus on top of their income.
I think if they do like 4 years, though, right? Like they do all 4 years of the term. So it's kind of like a military bonus.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I've been thinking about signing up for ICE, man. Like I've honestly been thinking about it.
Yeah. And they're even trying to they were trying to get them to possibly demask, and like 75% of them were like, no, we're quitting if we get demasked. And honestly, I don't blame them, because a lot of America right now, due to the media, hates them. So
they're getting death threats. They're getting calls in the middle of the night when they get doxxed, and they're like, they're threatening their families. Like these people are psychos.
But like what Gina just said about like, most of the people hate them. That's actually really interesting, because it gives you a window into like perspective, right? Mm-hmm. If you view a ton of content online and you see people screaming and yelling at ICE officers all around the country, you might think that most of America hates them.
Statistics don't show that.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that most of America is for these deportations. And I'll tell you
Look
this.
at the places where all this stuff is happening.
I mean, it'll open up jobs. It'll open up jobs for people. For Americans. Yeah, for sure. And I don't believe in like illegally coming into the country, but some of the people I've seen that were deported were citizens. And I have an immigrant mother, So it's like, what's going to happen to my mother?
Okay,
you know,
200 out of how many hundreds of like thousands? This is like what, 650,000 deportations, 200 mistaken, and those 200 mistaken, like some proportion of those were like non-compliant assholes, and so like my problem is like, at what point do we let perfection be the enemy of good, right?
I feel like the media plays a big part of people siding one way or another, because a lot of them are portraying ICE agents as the worst thing imaginable.
They're portraying them as Nazis, but they're not. These people are doing a service to America.
Have you seen that guy's coat?
Which coat? Which coat are you talking about?
He's got like this long Nazi-looking coat on, so like that probably doesn't help. But
let's face it, Hugo Boss really did a good job designing those outfits for the Nazis. Like they were the snappiest officers I've ever seen.
Yeah, they were very good uniforms.
They look sharp in their uniforms.
Yeah,
there's a reason they kept Hugo Boss. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's still around. That's still around today.
I love my Doc Martens. You know, I love my Doc Martens. And I heard that's what they were wearing.
CNN, they're talking about like ICE is arresting people and sending them to death camps. Like that's
they are saying that.
They're saying that shit.
You know, the average time of a person staying in like the alligator Alcatraz like places is 2 weeks. When did the Nazis ever like pay you to go home?
Bro,
you know what I mean? Like
the fact that they're even saying it is crazy.
Hold on, real quick. It's there's an important part of this that I think a lot of people are missing. Is they're making out, these men and women that are doing their jobs. They're doing what the American people's tax dollars are paying them to do, which is deport illegal aliens, people that are here illegally.
Yeah.
But I think there's an important distinction here is, you have the media that's painting them as these Nazis and, these, thugs that are just going around, beating people and shooting people. And then you have, shit, I just totally lost my train of thought. Never fucking mind.
Look, here's the thing. Here's the thing. The reason this is only happening in Minnesota is very clear. It's so obvious.
Because of the fraud.
It's because they're hiding the fraud.
That's why.
It's because these are the people committing billions of dollars of fraud against taxpayers. They caught their hand in the cookie jar, and the only way they have to distract is to flood the streets with paid NGO paid protesters, who, by the way, mostly like Karens and soy boys, mostly Karens. A lot of them coming from out of state just to do this, setting them up. And then if you look at the people who are participating in these signal chats, it's literally the politicians implicated in the fraud.
There's people, the politicians are at the top of the fucking food chain in those signal chats, man. It's crazy.
Well,
it's like one of the lieutenants for the governor.
If you want proof of this, look at what happened before the Summer of Love. The 8 months of mostly peaceful protests.
Right, mostly peaceful. Just a couple of burning down cities, but mostly.
Did you see them? Did you see they were inviting ICE agents?
Hold on, before I forget again.
He's drunk. Give him a chance.
All right. So I think I just forgot again. Son of a bitch!
You got a picture of Mr. Hussein Obama on the screen.
I'm gonna play this because this is 2010. Obama at the Congressional Hispanic Caucus.
He sounds pretty MAGA, I bet.
There are those in the immigrants' rights community.
Yeah, he sounds MAGA
who have argued
right here.
This is an AI. I remember this.
That we should simply provide those who are illegally with legal status, or at least ignore the laws on the books and put an end to deportation until we have better laws.
Now do Hillary Clinton.
And often this argument is framed in moral terms. Why should we punish people who are just trying to earn a living?
Look,
I recognize the sense of compassion that drives this argument. But I believe such an indiscriminate approach would be both unwise and unfair.
Look,
it would suggest to those thinking
over.
about coming here illegally
Have you ever listened to
that there will be no repercussions
extemporaneously?
for such a decision.
All right, we definitely got.
Do you know
This could-
why
can't
they're doing
fucking
this? You guys know
speak
why they're
off
doing
the
this, Tina.
cuff,
But
man.
I'm sorry, Gina. Do you know why the Democrats are suddenly changing their tune on this so hard? Do you know why? I don't know if you know.
No.
Census data
Mhm.
rolls in illegal alien residents into their
all residents, no matter what.
So what happened is that the blue states, as a result of both COVID policy and low birth rates, have lost a tremendous number of residents, meaning that people fled cities and people just weren't having babies as much on the left. Okay. And there's a huge conversion rate because of the crazy COVID policies as well, that they lost a lot of voters. Okay. So what they did to counteract this is they imported a tremendous number of immigrants and tried to squeeze them through so that they would be residents. They set them up with housing. They paid for their housing. They paid for their food. They gave them stipends. They paid for their health care. And they did this because they wanted to keep them there so that when the 2028 census came through, they would have the ability they would have more numbers than were actually reflected by the number of citizens in those states. Reallocating the housing.
Let me get it out.
Reallocating the house.
Colin, hold on. Let me get this out. So I was wanting to prove your point that you were making, and so the distraction point. So the before, back during the summer of love and everything, what was it that was distracting from? Because I remember a couple of things, like what was going on about politicians, about people in power, and then all of a sudden you had those riots and those things going on.
Oh,
Any
dude,
of you
gold
remember?
is dumping. Yeah, COVID. It was COVID. They were locking us all down, and they were telling us we didn't have any rights anymore and stay in your house and all that bullshit. I never listened to any of that shit. But
Waltz had military in the streets, making sure.
Yeah, he was shooting people with rubber bullets for going outside. Yeah. Fuck that! I can't believe people comply.
Minnesota too.
Oh, and dude, they were arresting people sitting on the beach by themselves.
Bro, you remember those tanks that were running through the streets? Yeah. That was Minnesota.
And so we got it easier than people in Australia or people in Britain or people in many cities in Western Europe. And dude, you look at those places now, they're complete shitholes, man. Like a complete dump. And at what point do we say, like, we've lost our allies in Europe? Like, I think that's something we should seriously consider talking about at this point. Like, these countries are so overrun with migrants, invaders from God knows where, but mostly Muslims from like North Africa and the Middle East, who have no intention of integrating into these white majority countries at all. They simply want to take them over. And so, it doesn't take long for you to go on X and see horrible, horrible shit in any European country, literally every single one. And it's like, man, well, that's what's coming here to the US if we don't deport all these people. And we're lucky that we don't have Muslims that are invading the United States. That's the thing, man.
And by the way, when you say white, I get like a little like perturbed. Not because I think that like,
dude, Europe is white.
Let me finish, please. The reason I say that is because if our immigrants were Japanese, I don't think I would feel the same way.
Because they're Western.
Exactly. Now you nailed it. So it's because, and Western is a weird term now because it's not necessarily Western. It means a degree of
something about culture.
High trust civilization, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we're really talking about. High trust civilizations versus low trust civilizations.
It's mostly white. That's what that mostly means, Colin.
But no, because I think there's plenty of nations out there that are like the Koreans are fucking cool as shit. So like, I don't want to say she's mostly Asian or less. I just want to point on the qualitative.
Do you consider yourself white, Gina?
No, I'm Asian as fuck.
Right? So I would agree.
Ni hao.
I don't know, man. Europe is white, bro.
Ni hao. She's fucking Filipino.
I know.
It's pronounced Filipino.
You're so right. 'Cause we don't have F's. Everything's a P.
That's right.
Anyway, my point is like literally, it's like so weird. Like we're just not looking at it properly. There are compatible cultures and incompatible cultures, and I think it's fair to say that a majority of Arab cultures, not Arab, I guess is not the right word, Islamic cultures are not compatible. I would be more comfortable Malaysians than I would with like Saudi Arabians or something. Like I would be more because Malaysians are actually pretty fucking cool, right?
I would say it's more that just cultures, like certain cultures, most Asian cultures are like this.
And I picked on Malaysia because
no, but like specifically, I want to.
They're Islamic.
Whenever they come to America, go to Europe, go anywhere, they integrate into that society. They keep their own culture, in their families, amongst each other.
But Mike,
but whenever they go out, and they're like in Europe, in the UK, and they're going around and doing working and buying things and doing whatever, they use the local customs and courtesies and things like that. It's a respect thing. It's the same thing when I went to Korea and lived for a year. Is I learned basic Korean. Please, thank you. Ajama, atashi. Things like that.
Yeah, but you're white, bro, and like you care about that. Like these people don't give a fuck, man.
Somebody else's country if you're not a citizen.
And like, how many of them are literally retarded? Do you think? I think probably like half of the world's population is literally retarded.
Root of this because because it's not really a race thing; it's a culture.
I think it is partially a race thing.
That's right. I think it's a culture thing, and I think culture and genetics are somewhat tied, but I don't think that's necessarily indicative of for instance, you can have a culture that is slightly a genetics distribution which is slightly below the global average, but they still have a culture of respect and neighborliness and that kind of stuff, and they would be perfectly fine here. And so this is and a lot of Hispanic cultures are kind of like that, right? Like and that's fine. Like I actually feel that way about like a lot of them, and so I don't think this is even Hispanic versus it's not, in that case it's not even a cultural thing. I think one of the reasons that they say
Catholic. They're Catholic.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, exactly. So it's cultural. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not even genetic. It's not IQ.
It is genetic and IQ though too. Like, dude, if you've got like
Somali people,
Somebody just say the fucking Somalis, man. These people are fucking their sisters for like 15 generations. Okay, they're inbred as fuck. That's why their heads are so big, and they're literally retarded. So like, you think that they're the ones who actually were able to figure out that fraud?
I want to point out the one thing that David just said.
Cousins, I don't know about sisters.
I mean, what's the difference, man? Cousins, sisters, like
a couple generations before.
I don't know. It's so stupid.
Slow down. It's a provable fact that that Somalis, the average IQ is like 80, and they had to actually lower the definition, the level of retarded to 70.
I love that word.
well, no, but I mean that's it's mental retardation. My aunt had severe Down syndrome. I mean it's not an insult. It's a medical term. So basically they had to lower it because Somalis on average were considered retarded. Like the entire.
What's their biggest industry?
I go by the way. I just want to be clear, veteran. My stance on the word retarded is that it's always wrong to call a retarded person retarded, but it's okay to call your friends retarded.
It's the you're
so
right.
I think that's how I feel about that word. So like mentally challenged is okay when it's referring to a person who's suffering from a disability.
I'm challenged, but I'm not retarded.
Yeah, but like that's like, I don't word police, but like that's my stance on that word. Personally, you can do whatever you want. Yeah.
So let me ask you something. If we're going to talk about like, intent of words and meaning of words like this, when I was growing up, right, faggot meant someone who was lame. It didn't mean like anything about homosexuality or being gay or anything. It was just like, oh, that dude's lame. Like that dude's a faggot. Like what do you think about that word, Colin?
I think it's context.
Yeah.
I think that one's same as the word retarded. It's context. It's context and intent, and you can clearly read it in the way that somebody's talking to you. It doesn't read well on a page, but it does read in when you hear the voice. You go like, "Oh, that dude's such a faggot," or that faggot needs to be hung by a fucking lamppost. Like there's a big difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you ever watched that comedian Matt Rife?
Yes.
Yeah.
He does like there's one stand up. Yeah, he's really good. You'd love him, David.
I probably would.
He's all over YouTube.
He's a crowd person, a crowd work person. He's
Jeff,
really good at crowd work, pretty bad at stand up.
Stand up comedy. Jeff just got back from Texas. He went down to Comedy Starship. Down there, Joe Rogan's place.
I tried to get on Kill Tony.
Yeah. Well, tell us about it, Jeff.
Well, so the show called Kill Tony. It's a weekly comedy show, and you sign up to do a minute of stand up, and if they pick your name out of a bucket, you get to go on stage and do a minute, and then they interview you. But I didn't get picked, but there's like 300 comics that sign up to do it each week. But yeah,
I was actually going to go to Killers of Kill Tony in I think it was September or August, and then they rescheduled it for December 21st. And I had to cancel.
Hey Jeff, drop
That's
the
so
links for the couple of videos that you got of your stand up in the chat.
Yeah, I have. I'll send the YouTube channel. Yeah, it's been 2 years since I've been on stage though, but I've done it like 10 times or so, open mics. So
me too.
I just think it's really
I want to
cool.
learn about that. Yeah,
Me too.
Jeff, what can you tell us about, what's it like to get up on stage and perform a set, right? What's it like?
Yeah.
Man?
Well, if you're doing open mics, it's like 10 minutes max, typically,
let's let
5.
Jeff give the rundown.
Yeah,
max 10.
But the ones here, they give you 5 minutes.
5 minutes normal if you're just signing up, and then if you got an actual, sorry, go ahead. I apologize. I also did this, so I know. Like anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Well, you go next because I want to hear your experience too. But Jeff, go ahead.
Well, dude, growing up, I was terrified of public speaking. I would shake and mumble and stutter, and it was really difficult. I'd be sweating. So I spent like 10 years as a track and field athlete, like competing all over the East Coast, and that kind of helped me be more comfortable performing in front of people because everyone's like watching you in your event. So
and then that stint in porn that you did.
Yeah.
I did that for a little while.
His porn name was Hefe Jeff. Hefe Jeff.
When Jeff posed with Playgirl under the assumed name Mike Honcho.
They didn't have pages big enough for me, so so I wanted to try stand up because I was like, well, I mean, I got some jokes. So being up there 5 minutes feels it's a lot
like
longer than
I bet.
Yeah, on stage it's a lot longer than you think.
Oh, I bet. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's it got a little easier each time I did it, but yeah, it's been about 2 years since I've done it because it was really just to get me out of my comfort zone and to see if I could actually do it and put a set together and all that. But yeah,
what were your
fun.
jokes about, Jeff? What type of jokes did you tell me?
I'll send you the videos.
Yeah, watch the videos.
Yeah,
you talking about Jews and shit. I bet you are, dude. It was good. I bet it was great.
Only David can make those jokes because David's fucking Jewish.
Jewish. It's fucking crazy.
Colin, what's your comedy stand-up experience?
So I had been writing jokes for years, and one day I was just like, "Fuck it, I'll go up." I had one real killer one, and so I'd say like my first time up, they only give you 3 minutes because they know you're gonna suck. And so they gave me 3 minutes, and the guy before me went up and he did his 3 minute, and he was supposed to these are the newbies, be nice to them, they're gonna suck, and he sucked. And then I went up, and like every other comedian after that was kind of like, how do I follow that up? Because I had a 3 minute killer, and literally like they were actually like making comments about my very orchestrated hand movements and everything like that. So I did really well.
Hand movements and shit.
Oh yeah, I was like, you get 3 for the price of 1. You do that 4 times. Well, that kind of stuff. Like these kind of things, I would actually like choreograph like how I would produce every moment, every second of the set. And it went really well. I fucking killed my first 3 minutes, and then I go to real open mics after that because I could use this audition tape basically. And they didn't feel as good. A lot of open mics are just other comedians stonewalling you almost intentionally, and so open mics is just a room full of other comedians just fucking stonewalling you. And so it's really heartbreaking. And then I got my first 10-minute set, and I went up and I did that, and it was just this sea of Karens, an old black dude with a prostitute, and then like a gangster up front. And this is DC. This is all DC area. And so I'm literally like, I get to the end of my 10-minute set, and I got 2 minutes left because I went too fast. And I mean, because the jokes are very sexually charged. So when you have like a room full of like sauced up like women, and you're just there like, fuck, this joke won't land. Like, you know that none of your jokes are gonna land, and you just walk up there and you're just like, and I did medium, but like they didn't like guffaw like the original folks did in the late night show. This is the middle of the day. And so that's when I was like, okay, I'll just do some crowd work. And I fucking suck at crowd work, because to do crowd work you have to give a shit, and I don't. And so like literally
Rife then, because
he's good at crowd work. All he does is crowd work.
Yeah.
He's the best at crowd work. He's the king of crowd work.
Yeah.
Well, the milk love him.
And Jordan Jensen.
That's what she said.
Jordan Jensen's also really good at crowd work.
Well, Matt Rife, the one bit that I was going to talk about where he's talking about faggots was like he was on stage, and he's talking up, he's sitting there, and he's picking people in the crowd doing crowd work, and he's like, gay, and the guy's like, yeah, and he's like, okay, and then he's talking to somebody else, he's like, gay, and they're like, yeah, and then he turns around to the camera guy, and he's like, gay, and the camera guy's like, yeah, he's like, I'm on fucking fire tonight. He's like, my gaydar is on point, and but he kept saying, he calling people faggots and stuff, and then like whenever the people like said they were gay, he'd like pull it back. He was like, okay, no, I didn't mean it. He's like, and one of the gay guys, the cameraman, was like, no, we give you a pass. You can say the F word, and so it was just going on and on and on.
Yeah, I gotta say, comedy is a lot harder than it looks. But if you're prepared, if you are prepared and you're rehearsed, you'll do fine, as long as your jokes aren't fucking stupid. And I was a story comedian. I wasn't like a zinger. So like, I don't know. Jeff seems like a zinger comedian.
No, I like to tell a story, and then,
oh, good. I was a story comedian, so I told stories about my life, and like, and I made all my jokes really sexually charged, right? And like that was kind of like taboo breaking.
I go to a glory hole.
Yeah, it was like really taboo breaking, because like most guys can't deliver sexual humor that's kind of typically relegated to women. But I flipped it, and I made pure incel.
David looks like Kramer.
I made like pure incel jokes like the whole time. I just made myself out to seem like the world's funniest incel, and it worked. And so like that sort of like paid off. Gina's sitting here like, what the fuck? Like,
what did I log on to?
I'm looking at David's hair. Very lucky.
The YouTube chat right here.
Very voluptuous. I love it.
Gina's single now, David.
That's fucking awesome.
I became single yesterday.
Yep.
Damn. You want to tell us about that? How did that happen?
He is just not in the headspace. He wasn't giving me quality time, and that's like the biggest thing that I need in a relationship is spending time with my partner. He wasn't a bad partner by any means, but like I need a little bit more. I deserve a little bit more. I'm very caring, very loving. I cook for him all the time. Well, when I can, but like he would just
sales pitch, guys.
he would make like every little. He would say he'd come, and then he wouldn't, And then it got to a point where I was like,
Don't
okay,
leave me an opening.
I don't
Gina.
expect you to come.
Yeah,
Um,
What did you just say? I don't
And it's just like, it was like a letdown.
He was keeping packets of mayonnaise in the back pocket just so he could.
like, what?
You said you
I
would
gotta
come.
fake it. Oh boy, squirt. Is
I
this
don't
mayonnaise?
understand,
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was a little bit of a letdown every single time, and it just broke my heart every single time, and made me like slowly more and more depressed. And I was like, okay, well, I can't spend my time thinking about you, because you won't give me the time of day. But he was a great person.
9:46.
So
I love how you were just talking hella shit about him, and then you go, but he was a great person, though.
No, that's the thing you're supposed to do. That's not talking shit about a person.
it's just like the time, he wouldn't give me any time. So, but he was very sweet,
If
I
somebody loves-
I just
if-
need more. I
well,
just need
if
more.
somebody loves and
But-
cares about you, they make the time. Nobody's that.
Yeah,
big.
that's what I'm saying. I would, if like, he would only see me if it was like convenient for him, but I would gladly take an inconvenience to go see him.
Absolutely.
And that's where it's like the balance wasn't there. So
Yeah. But actually, there's a biblical quote that's called "being equally yoked," is what my mom told me, and it's kind of like what I've used to gauge my relationships as well. Is is each person carrying their weight? Like on the emotional side, on the financial side. Are you working together and pulling in the same direction? And if you're not, you need to think logically and be like, you know what?
Damn, bro, look at his face, man.
I know. No, I'm the same way. I'm the same way, Gina.
He's gonna
Yeah.
smack this.
Mm-hmm.
it was good though.
I'm a VTuber.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
so. I think Colin. I think you're the only one that's matched up right now. Jeff's single. I'm single. David's
You've
single.
got the best person ever.
I am the luckiest man in the world. She is.
He
the
literally.
sweetest-
I wanted her. You took her from me.
Colin, look out! Colin, look out!
Come on, that's my wife. Fuck off.
Colin's giving you the stink
I'm
eye.
not gonna be in y'all's cuck chair.
Well, get used to it, buddy.
Stand on business,
Get
Colin,
used
stand on
to it.
business.
They're gonna be all scissor sistering, and I'm gonna be there like, "Can I join, guys?" No, they're
like, "No, sit
your
there in
dick
the
stinks.
corner."
I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, I know, I didn't shower today."
Colin's gonna have his cage on.
I'm gonna have my
Get
git
in that
mask,
Superman suit and get in the closet.
The zipper mask.
Superman suit, and get in the closet. Deep cut Rick and Morty reference right there. Hell yeah.
I love Rick and Morty.
Me too. So, like, look, I'm sorry to hear it, Gina, but honestly, we all saw it coming from a mile fucking way.
I didn't even know she was with
I saw
somebody.
that shit coming. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie. Like, we did. You were always having problems ever since we met you, and I think this is gonna be freedom. This is gonna be either an opportunity for you to explore yourself, or an opportunity for you to find somebody better real quick.
Well,
Either
I
way.
was single for 8 years before I met him. Like, it's not like a big thing on my mind. So
No.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really enjoy being single. It's very
me
rare.
too.
Well, it's very rare I'll date somebody just because I have my peace. I'm financially set. I'm like, I have the perfect fucking life. It's just, honestly, I do. And it's, if I'm going to let somebody into that, I want them to enhance that, not take away from it. So, if they
Standards
come
go
up,
up.
well, if somebody's
Quality,
bringing a bunch of drama
standards,
into
all
your
that.
Bro,
life,
he looks like that potato meme.
or they're just not making the time, it's like,
Mhm.
why should you be constantly taking the time to go and see them and visit them and be constantly making room in your life for them if
So
they're not
here,
willing
let me ask
Yeah.
you a question. Gina, what do you think about this? What do you think about people living together before they get married? Like boyfriend, girlfriend live together, but they're not married. What do you think about that?
not
I
from a
think,
moral,
honestly, if they've known each other for a couple of years, and they want to see what marriage would be like, living together. Because sometimes you might be good separate, but if you're living together, things might fall apart. So I think maybe like dabbling in it like living together right before you're thinking about getting married would be okay.
Bro,
as long
what
as
in
you've
the
known-
fuck?
Me?
as long as you've
Potato.
known each other for a couple years, I
Like
think that's
sourdough
okay.
bread before it's cooked.
Hold on, Gina.
You're kneading the dough.
I have a follow-up question, Gina.
Okay.
Because you're in a unique position, and if you don't want to answer this, I have no issue. But you are a single mom
Yeah.
with a young boy with special needs. So
Yeah.
if when you date, how do you introduce or when do you introduce somebody that you're dating to your son? Like what's your thoughts on that?
That's really hard. First of all, I don't like to bring just anybody around him. Because I want to make sure that they're a good person. What is their character like? And my son, he will get attached to a person. And honestly, it's really sad if like they gotta go and he'll never see them again.
He doesn't understand.
So like I'm very careful about who I bring around him. But I feel bad because I feel like he needs a fatherly figure to look up to. And he doesn't have one. Colin. And like his dad isn't in his life. He hasn't been since he was 5 months old. He's
That's
8.
tough.
So it makes me feel bad that he doesn't have that in his life. So part of me craves that for him, that he can have like that male figure, and I kind of have to be both.
Yeah.
I wish I had a male figure.
Gina, what do you do for a living? What do you do?
I have 4 jobs.
She's Jamaican.
I am a manager at Five Guys. I'm a weapons coach.
Five Guys.
Yeah, I'm a weapons coach. I am a tattoo artist.
What type of weapons?
So melee stuff. So axes, knives, archery, ninja stars, spears, anything that you can hold.
They're called shuriken.
Yeah, shuriken. Yeah, we call them ninja stars at work because people don't really know the difference. But yeah, so I do that. I'm a tattoo artist and I'm a streamer.
Nice.
So yeah.
Streamer. So I
have to do everything I can to make ends meet.
Where'd you get that neon sign? Like that's pretty cool. A custom sign like that. I like that.
Honestly,
I've been
Amazon. Amazon. It was about $50.
Cool.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. Got my name on it. And you can get some pre-made that are just generalized, but I liked the fact that, like I added hearts on the end of it. I thought that was cute. So
did someone give
Amazon.
Colin more coke? He's deviated septum, can't take it.
Bro, he looks like Alex Jones or something. So when he was going just like
no, dude, he looks like Wario off Mario.
They're
Brothers.
turning the turtles lesbian.
He looks like Wario.
I love it. So to answer that YouTube question, I don't know how many weapons I have. A lot. I have a whole collection of knives, axes, some that come apart and that has like a chain in it. Like I honestly, and plus I want to make them myself. I'm building a forge at my father's house. So I'm gonna start making weapons myself.
You know what you should do? You should take those homemade weapons and make content with them. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, I want to.
She does. She was doing the behind the back axe throw earlier.
Yeah, I did post one of my old videos. I haven't been taking them lately. But yeah, it's a super fun job. I only do it like 1 day a week because
do knife fighting with training knives?
What?
Like, do you ever use training knives and do practice knife fighting with other people?
It's real or nothing.
It's real or nothing. You're like, fuck it. You're gonna get cut, bitch.
It's not just her screen name. I'm just saying, slice, baby.
If you play with knives and you don't expect to get cut, then you shouldn't be playing with knives. Also, I've never been cut with a knife. I'm just that good. So,
well, I don't know. You get knife fights, you tend to cut your hands.
Well, whenever like knife fighting training in the military. Whenever we got that was like the first thing we learned. We're like, they told us like, if you're in a knife fight, you're going to get cut. Just accept that, get it in your head, so that you're not surprised by it, because you're gonna get cut. It's not like in the movies where you're like dodge, dodge, dodge. It's like
toughens the skin. It toughens the skin too.
it's
makes it hard.
Well, and the reason they want you to understand that is because you want to make sure that you can control where you get hit. So
you don't want to cut major arteries or
tendons or anything like that.
Yeah.
So like if you're going to take a hit on the back of the arm where it's going to hit bone.
Bro, Mike, I have dreams about that still, man.
You're going to get cut, across, veins and arteries and tendons.
Yeah, you don't want that part.
Yeah, you don't want that. So it's, knife fighting I find very interesting because you have to learn anatomy as well. And so
I used to be in school to be an orthopedic surgeon. So that was fun. I got to learn a lot about body.
Be careful with those folding knives. Those things, like if you're going at something with a folding knife and the thing folds against you, that's a bad day. It's a bad day.
Yeah.
Folders, I don't use folders. I mean, I have one in my pocket at all times, like to cut rope and just around the property when I'm doing chores. You can just pull it out and you have the little thumb clip and you can just pop it and cut something.
I have a ton of folders in my desk.
Yeah, I mean they're just handy. But in an actual, like the one that I carry on my hip is a fixed blade, and it's more of a kukri style to where it's kind of curved. It's really good for slashing, but it's pointed enough that I can thrust with it too. And I used to own that emergency preparedness website, and I used to sell Blue River, like Blue Creek knives. They sell like every fucking knife on the planet. It's like a massive warehouse, and I just had them drop ship. But they have some really good quality knives for like really good prices. If you're interested,
you see how Gina has like half of her head shaved like that, dude. If I shaved half my head like that, I would constantly be like touching it, because like how your scalp feels like that.
Oh yeah. I like to slap it. I like to slap it sometimes.
Dude, I know how the scalp is.
Yeah, I do. Colin does too. Major scalp, lots of head on that guy.
I wear a hat not for the fact I like hats, but for protection.
Well,
it probably gets really cold.
I wear
it does, but it's also sunburn is the bigger concern. Well, and then on top of that, like if I bump my head and I don't have like a cap on, like it will leave. It'll cut. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah.
No, I have a bunch of scars on my head because of that, but I always wear a hat when I stream because the glare off my head.
I thought David was bald because you always have the hat on.
Nah,
I
got hair and shit.
I was actually really surprised you had hair under there because I'm so used to seeing you with a hat on. It's very cool to see
Gina,
your luscious.
You've been watching me on my streams and shit.
I do. I watch you.
David and Gina sitting in a tree.
Come down to Florida first. I'm not leaving this state.
She'll love Florida.
I've always wanted to go. I don't get out much. I'm always in New York, so.
Yeah, you definitely need to get out of there.
Yeah, I'm trying, but I'm crawling out of debt. Okay. And I got 7K down to 1K. So we're doing really good. We're doing really good. And I think I might be able to pay everything off this month. I think.
That's actually awesome. That's really good.
Thank you. I've been working really, really hard. And I think after that, I might be able to finally upgrade my PC. So that's super exciting.
So I'm kind of curious about that, Colin. Let me ask you something. Colin, if you had 10K in high interest credit card debt, but you were making enough cash flow, and he just turns off his camera. Bro, I wouldn't pay off the debt at all. I would take the cash flow and I would do something with it to earn some yield. That's what I would do. Like, what in the hell is a credit score good for anyway? If I'm being completely honest, like, unless you're going to buy a house, like, so
ask your question, David.
Yeah. So Colin, if you had like 10 or let's say you had 10K in high interest credit card debt, okay, just as an example, and you're earning enough cash flow each month from all of your jobs to be able to pay that off over the course of a couple of years. Would you pay that off, or would you just fuck off the debt, save the money, put it into something that earns you some yield? Like
the yield is going to be less than the debt on a credit card typically. Typically, credit cards are in the range of 20% to 30%.
Right. But what I'm saying is, what's more valuable to you? Like having the cash earning yield or paying off the debt? What's the better play?
So my take on it is debt is play. This is a philosophical thing. Okay, so there's a lot of people like to
hold on. I like where you're going with this, Colin, but like I want to make sure that we get to David's point, because I think it's important to understand long-term or short-term, which is better, paying off the credit card debt or having the cash on hand.
Right. Yeah. Because look,
I think you should always have $500 in your bank account.
Debt is slavery, but I want you to answer this first, and then
I think you should always have like $500. It depends on how tight you are, but I think you should always have at least a minimum of $500 cash in your bank account. But then again, no, I take that back, because here's why. Because the credit card debt is effectively cash, so your credit line can be used in emergency as well. And so paying down the credit card debt is essential, because you're not going to have the interest payments on that anymore.
But who gives a fuck? Like, honestly, who cares about the payments? Like, these credit card companies, like, what are they really going to do? They're going to hurt your credit score? Like, dude, you don't have the money to be able to buy. Like, if someone didn't have the money to be able to buy a house,
the point is this.
What are you going to do?
Right,
what's the point? Yeah.
The point is this: is that you can always use your credit card in the case of the stuff you would need the cash for in an emergency. Right, which is what credit cards are supposed to be kind of for, unless you're one of those people like me where you pay everything on a credit card to get Sky Miles points, and then you pay down the credit card every month. But like the interest rate you get on the credit card is too high, so you need to pay that down as soon as possible. And then effectively your credit line is effectively kind of like a cash line if you need it in an emergency. What else are you going to need the cash for? Right, so you want to have the credit line as like zero, because you want to make sure you're not paying interest on it at all. And then you're not, and then I
don't agree. I would run up the debt on the credit card, never pay it back, take the cash flow to go earn something in DeFi, and then tell the bank to go fuck them.
Dude, they will garnish your wages.
So what? I don't live in fucking TradFi. I live in DeFi.
I know.
I don't have any wages. You know?
Yeah, but like,
they can't. What are they
hold
going
on. I'm gonna take it in another direction, like another point of view. So I'm an old bastard, like Pat McCrotch. This is Drew's over at Blockchain Basement. This is his dad. So I'm with him. So no mortgage helps you sleep at night. I'm kind of old school. So when I sold everything and moved out in the middle of the woods and lived in a tent and built my cabin, I freaking paid everything off. I have zero debt. I have no mortgage. I have credit card debt. Nothing. And I couldn't have retired at 40 if I wouldn't have done that. So there's something to be said for just paying off all that debt, having a steady income, a retirement, investments, whatever, and being able to just enjoy life. It really depends on what you're trying to accomplish, what your personal goals are, I think, is what determines how, what play you do.
David, there's one more thing.
Jeff, what's your thoughts? Like, what's your philosophy?
My name's Jeff.
My name's Jeff.
Not Mossad.
That's right. No, but what's your philosophy? Like, kind of how do you live, if you don't mind sharing, how do you live your life as far as balancing debt, with liquid, keeping capital, liquid to where you can live life and invest and do things.
I would take that capital and invest it in something that would be more cash flow positive, honestly.
Right.
Yeah, but you should always keep cash.
No, but you can't always keep cash. Like, if you have a limited cash flow from your job.
So David's living in a different world than, say, Gina is. And I want to make that clear.
That's what I'm saying.
But it doesn't have to be. My whole point is it doesn't have to be.
Enough cash if you have to use a bank and stuff to pay for, like, if your car breaks down or whatever.
Yeah, Gina knows about that.
Well, hold on. There's one key aspect to all this, and that's what I'm trying to get at. So I want everybody to understand kind of where I'm going with this. Is we're all at different starting points, and we're all, because like I'm old as shit, it's Gina's younger, Colin, I think that you're what, like late 30s, early 40s.
43.
Okay, 43.
Going on 44. Yeah.
I would say David's what, you're like 72, 73.
He's a vampire.
My point, I'm making a joke, but my point is we're all at different points in life. We're all have different situations. And so it really depends on those things, on how you adjust, having liquid, cash on hand, how you balance your debt.
So Mike,
if you're
we've been talking
carry debt.
Yeah, but Mike, we've been talking in DeFi high school every day at noon. We've been talking about all of this, basic financial education, basically.
Yeah.
Right? And so there are all of these new neobanks that allow you to essentially disconnect.
I get all that, Dave, and it works great for you because of where you're at.
But it can work for anyone.
But
that's the point.
I'm not very financially literate, and I didn't come from a family that was.
But it's such a great opportunity for you, Gina. Though it's such a great opportunity.
You have to have the available income to be able to be able to put know what you're doing and put enough liquidity to where they can live off of it, like you do, David. You're in a very unique position. You're
how
very.
would someone use a neobank to pay off the debts that they have?
So the whole point is, that's a great question, Jeff. So this is the way I would do it. This is why I wanted to bring this up for Gina. It's like, okay, if you're working 4 fucking jobs, like, dude, holy shit. Let's say that you're working 2 that you actually get paid at, like paid well, right? Instead of paying back those credit cards, just start stacking USDC on EtherFi, earning 7%, and that becomes your credit. Instead of trying to pay back those credit cards, that 7% on EtherFi, that becomes your checking account. And then whenever you need to spend and buy something,
absolutely, yes, you're 100% correct.
Whoa!
Yeah, I've never even heard about it.
She's never going to pay a mortgage on. Look, stop. I really hate this advice. I think it's bad, and I mean that. David, I am so sorry.
I think I know where the disconnect is. Hold on.
She's never going to pay a mortgage off.
I think I know where the disconnect is.
She wants to get a house. She needs to get her credit score.
Hold on.
But none of that shit's attainable at all.
Hold on. David, hold on. I see the disconnect here before we go too far down this road. David's talking about a starting point, and Gina basically starting to rewire the way she thinks about finance because of DeFi. Yeah. So instead of having a regular bank account and where she's not making any money, at least start making a little bit of money by using DeFi. It's a baby step to get to an end goal.
I think she should pay down her credit card first.
I think she should fuck off the credit
it's
card.
Almost paid down
and her credit score.
Yeah.
She can't buy a car. She can't buy a house.
But most of my debt isn't credit debt. It's like other things like National Grid, car insurance. It's like regular
Getting
bills.
approved for an apartment, they check your credit score.
Yeah, I have like about 650, 661.
If she could get that over 720, she's in a much better position. And so, like, this is what I think her goal needs to be.
All of this gets to my point is that this question, and I want to get back to Jeff because he never got to finish, but then I want to get to Gina because I want to hear kind of what she's doing currently. But my point is that we're all, and everybody out there listening is all in very different places. Like some people are just starting out. They're just graduating high school. They don't have a penny to their name. They might be living at home, still, but they have a job and they're saving up so they can get their car or they can, put a down payment on an apartment, whatever. You might be at the end of your life, like myself, and some other people out there. I think Jay, Jay in the chat, he's retired. We're in a very different place in life. We've already worked a bunch of years and, invested and did things. I don't care about my credit score. I don't use credit anymore. But Gina and most, 90-something% of people out there, they got to care about their credit. Like Colin was saying, if you want to get an apartment, they do a credit check. You want to buy a car, they do a credit check.
I want a house.
They want a credit check.
Yeah, but she needs to get her FICO up. And so this is
Jeff,
like,
hold on, Jeff, go. I want you to finish saying kind of how you structure your finances.
Yeah. Well, when me and my ex were together, I was taking on a lot of the bills and stuff. So I had some things fall into collections and they're still there, but I've focused more on taking the money that I've made at my job since like me and her split. Now that I have a little bit more money to allocate to investments, I'm not focusing so much on paying the collection stuff yet because I want to take the liquidity I have and grow that.
Right.
And take advantage of these markets, at least right now. My credit score is not great, but and to get my apartment, I had to pay double deposit in order to.
Oh, you live in the Bay Area. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had to pay a double deposit or triple, I think. It was like half a month.
You live in Pleasanton, Alameda County?
No, East Bay.
East Bay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, David, can I address what you're saying? Oh, sorry, Jeff, go ahead.
So yeah, I'm focusing more on, because it's really not like I don't have them coming after me to pay all this stuff off yet. So I'm really focusing on growing my investments right now and taking advantage of these markets. And then once I start, because I'm not getting hit with interest and stuff on that, so it's it's already in collections. I can't. So I want to take advantage of growing my my bag now, and then when I have a decent sized bag when this market takes off, I'll start paying off a little bit. But I don't want to take that money and just blow it away and
I guess so. Jeff, my only point with this is like if I had no cash, right, and I was just working and generating cash flow, and I had a bunch of debt. And Gina, I'm not saying this is your situation. I'm just saying in general, this is the way I think about it. If I was generating cash flow from my job and my FICO score was like 650 and I had a bunch of debt, dude, I would fuck off that debt in a second to just save that USDC. That's what I would do, because I think it's a better opportunity.
Most of my debt isn't credit card. It's like I only have $300 in credit card debt out of that 1,000.
Yeah, so my advice is actually sound like, I think, that is pay down the debts that you have and then listen to David. In other words, like once you got the traditional finance usury level fucking
it is usury.
Yeah, once you get that shit paid down to zero, okay? Now you can start talking about savings accounts. And when you have savings accounts, if you're getting 7% yield on a savings account in USDC, that's much better than what you would get at any traditional bank. And so you should consider that. But first step, pay down the debt.
I just want to point out that's what David's point was, I think. And I think that's where the disconnect was. And
no, that wasn't my point, Mike. What I was saying is fuck off the TradFi stuff entirely because it's a scam.
Again, because you're in a position to do that. Other people have to baby step into that.
I got a son. I feel it's like I gotta make sure we got most of it's like rent. I struggle with keeping up with rent and like my car note and just little stuff like that just adds up. And there was a couple bad months where they were giving me like 3 days a week at my main job, and that really fucked me over. I was making way less than what my bills were, about $2,000 less. So it really took a hit on me. So I'm just crawling back out of it as much as I can. And
all I could, did the best I could for you. I hope you kept your lights on, But
did. I almost lost my house, so yeah, you definitely saved me. And don't ever forget.
That's fucking cool, man.
But I really think that it's important that you get your head above water, that you also work on your credit score in traditional finance, and do whatever David's saying. Do that baby steps, like a little bit here and there, $50 a month, something like that.
Yeah.
Use that as a savings account, okay? But you need to get that traditional finance score up because the world is still wired for it. And you need to be able to get a car in a pinch. You need to be able to get an apartment in a pinch. You need to someday get a mortgage. And for these things, you need to pay a little bit into debt and then pay off that debt immediately by the end of the month.
I literally believe none of that. I disagree entirely.
Well,
TradFi is a straight up
and that works for you, David, because again, you're in a position to where you can do that. Most people have to live in the system, and they have to work their way out of it and get to a place where you're at. It's just the way it is.
I was thinking about fucking off the system entirely and moving myself to Thailand.
Yeah.
But
where she'll become a manly girl instead of a
manly
lady
girl.
boy.
No,
A man
a
boy?
lady boy.
It's
It
a
doesn't work the other way around. I tried. There's no
It's a
equivalent to
scam.
lady boy in Thailand, is there? For the other way around.
They're all lady boys. And it's funny because in the Philippines, they call a lady boy a bisexual person. So I was bisexual, right? So they were calling me lady boy. I said, don't do that. We think that's totally different. I'm not a lady boy. I like women a little bit. Chill out.
Gina's got a dick.
So I guess the
Careful with the knives. Gina's got a dick.
The bottom line for me here is, look, the education is the most valuable thing. If you're going to stay if you're going to pay off what you got to pay off, that's all good. But learn about this parallel financial system.
Yeah.
Hold on,
and
Matt.
honestly, like if you just score a sponsorship where she
we don't
learns
have
it
enough
online.
people. Matt, get in here. We don't have enough people talking over each other. Come on, Matt. Come on.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I like education. I'm in school to get my tech
She will
degree
do it
right now.
online and show people how to do it and learn online if she scores a sponsorship. Like she will do that shit. Gina will pedal that ass. Hell yeah. Like, you know, it's like
I would love
if you
a
got
sponsorship.
connections with those folks, you know, definitely like hook it up.
What type of following do you have?
I got about 2K on Kick, 500 on Twitch, 3K on Facebook, 1K on Arena. Yeah, I just started my journey 8 months ago.
That's pretty damn good in 8 months.
Crushing it.
Yeah. So I'm trying to work my way up there.
And if you market her the right way, she would definitely blow up in every single. She puts in the work. So like, there's very few people I will vouch for that put in the actual work.
No, sometimes she's live streaming for like 4 or 5 hours in a fucking row.
My biggest one was 12.
See, and I complain about 2 hours a day. You know, me and David have our daily DeFi show, and then we have like our random one like this. You know, each day during the week. But it's a lot of work. I mean, people don't realize they watch these shows. They don't realize the work that goes into like the work that David puts in, where you know creating the course, you know, the courses and all those things. You know, Gina, you know, just keeping, you know, being able to plan out and keep people entertained for that period of time. You know, freaking.
Yeah. All right. So is Matt hopping on, by the way?
No, he was saying in the chat. He was like, hold on, what?
He said no.
Oh yeah, he just said laugh out loud. No. So yeah, no, I think with everything going, like I don't know, I think he's had a little bit of a day. He might.
Yeah. So actually, I have an emergency I actually need to attend to right now, and I want to attend to it. I'm sorry to do this to you guys, but I'm actually after rug. But I'll talk to you guys later. All right, bye. Thank you for inviting me.
Dude, anybody can come and go from this thing anytime they want, man.
He is here.
Hold
You're
on.
not allowed.
Hold on. Here's Matt. Here's Matt.
Well, I wanted him to replace me, so this works. All right, I'm gonna hop off. Bye, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Take care, brother.
But that's why I want to upgrade my PC. Like, I need like better. I'm always lagging. I stream on a MacBook that I got from school. Malik.
What up, Matt?
Hello. Why is everybody talking all over each other?
All right.
All right, you guys. I gotta go make some dinner.
Yeah,
Thanks
no
so
problem.
much.
Bye, David.
Peace out, you
Take
guys.
care, brother. We'll
Gina,
talk to you
nice
next
to
time.
meet
Hey,
you.
I don't control that puppet.
See you
That puppet
guys.
does mind of its own, guys. Mind of its own. I have nothing to do with that puppet. I don't even know where it came from.
Oh my god.
That's my retarded puppet. When I think everybody's acting retarded, I use that one.
Oh god.
Was this Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood? The fucking
Yeah,
king and the
there's the fat puppet, okay? The fat hippo looking thing, and then there's the retarded one. So yeah, they're both
hippocorn.
They both got mental deficiencies. So yeah. Look at the kitty cat. Oh,
Jeff Dunham.
Oh no.
He's purring, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
I always get so jealous of your camera. I love it. I love it so much.
Oh
Dude, I
man.
love his kitty. His kitty's so chill and relaxed.
Well, I find that pets, like animals, that
Yes,
you know,
they mimic their owners, right?
They mimic their owners.
Yes. I think you told me this thesis once to make fun of me for why my cat's so
Dude,
crazy.
animals are very in tune.
Oh yeah, they are.
I use animals whenever I'm judging, like kind of judging people and like feeling people out.
Yep.
Animals are really good indicators, and it's kind of why I always keep pets. Is they have a really good sense of who people are. If animals don't like somebody, it's a fucking red flag for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, everyone that when me and my ex were together, everyone that came over to the house for like parties and stuff, they would be amazed at how friendly our cats were and how nice they are. And
That's
like,
what they think about our
like,
cats. It's weird. They're like,
awesome.
they've never experienced a cat that was nice. What? Ever? Not once?
Yeah, some people get really weird around cats, like, ugh, like get that thing away from me.
They have like a bias against them that's like not rational. It's based on what they were taught or they were learned or whatever.
Yeah, or they're just straight dog people.
I honestly, I didn't like cats until I found her outside my cabin.
The cat distribution program. Yeah,
No.
you were picked. Yeah,
you were. Yep.
I live in the middle of fucking nowhere. Jeff can attest to this. I live in the middle of fucking nowhere, and somehow a cat ended up outside my fucking house. And
cats breed and fuck everywhere. Like they
no.
are everywhere. It's
Dude,
amazing.
you don't understand how far I am from civilization.
No, you told me you are totally in the boonies.
Yeah. No, it's like how she survived. I mean, I got mountain lions, coyotes, wolves, bear, everything like on a regular
kitty
basis.
wouldn't have lasted another 2 days in the wilderness, honestly.
Yeah. No, and it's like she showed up and I gave her a little bit of food. She fell asleep on my lap. I sat on the ground outside and let her curl up in my lap and like take a nap. And after about 30 minutes, I was like, all right, I'm going inside. I went inside. She followed me in and she hasn't left since.
She followed you right inside. Not even no scare, no fear at all.
Nope, just followed me inside. She's like, fuck this shit. She's like, he gave me food and gave me warmth.
Exactly.
I like this. And she is not even interested in the slightest about going outside. I open the door and usually she'll run and hide. She does not want to go outside.
The blockchain reporter is completely right. Cats are just so much easier to manage because they poop themselves. They clean themselves.
Oh, me. That's Jeff.
That's me.
Nick Dunn, you feel like that's 8 cats in his life? What?
Oh my God, Nick.
Very mean.
You are bad.
Dude,
you are bad.
Ow! Okay, the puppets are gone.
Oh my gosh.
It's all Coltry's fault. Where's Coltry? It's all his fault I have puppets. He bullied me into buying them, and then I bought them, and now I have to use them occasionally.
I like your puppet.
The only bad thing about animals is the fucking hair, man.
Yeah, that's why I have lizards.
Yes. So that's why you have to have those roller stickies, right?
Oh yeah, no. I'm always
I got air purifiers.
Yeah,
air purifiers are very helpful.
Clean.
No, I have to get my Maine Coon. I have to have its haircut at least once every 2 months.
Yeah,
because if it doesn't get its line cut where it's like really short, it just is hairball city all over the house.
Those Maine Coons, like those Maine Coons, are cool as shit.
Yeah, he's staring at me right now on top of the stairs. He hears me talking about him, so he's like looking at me like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" But he's like, "I don't think I want to go down the stairs. It's too much effort if I don't have to poop. I don't want to go down there until later." But I might go grab in a minute. He's so lazy now. It's just he used to be a really like spry cat, right? But now he's just a little fat chunker.
Well, like DCA and Prey says he hates cleaning cat litter. Honestly, I would rather
get an automatic one.
Dude, I would rather clean cat litter like once a week than dog shit. Like out, like where I'm at, I don't have to clean it up, but
right.
But
when you live in a city, right?
Well, but having to take
my
your
friend's dog for a walk was a pain in the ass. You have to grab that shit.
I can understand living in the city. There's a huge difference between owning a dog and owning a cat.
Yeah.
No, I was
not really a dog person.
You're a dog person or not?
I love dogs.
No, I'm not. I can't. I like cats because they'll like fuck off when they want. They're not too clingy. They're not bouncing all over you and scratching you.
Yeah.
And they have their own like little space that they like. It's kind of like me. I like my space a little bit. That's why I can't give a dog the love that it needs. So I
Yeah,
can't.
because some dogs in particular need constant affection, right?
Yeah, I can't.
And
I
my cat is like a dog to some degree, but then at least at times it goes on its own, right? So it
Yeah.
like goes in waves. So that's okay.
I don't know. I think that they each have their purpose, and like to enhance my calm, a cat is definitely the way to go. I had a long-haired German Shepherd for years. Like right when I got out of the military, I got it. And I was thinking like, oh yeah, it's gonna be my buddy, help me with PTSD, all that shit. No, that thing was high strung as fuck, and it stressed me the fuck
This
out.
boy is part Maine Coon. Look at him.
Oh, you
Oh,
can
look
tell.
at that. Yes, he's half Maine Coon. I can see it.
Yeah,
You can tell he's fucking big.
he's a big boy.
He's
a big boy.
He's a long boy.
I think having dogs is kind of like
Big,
having a
long
child.
black boy.
What's that?
I think having dogs is kind of like having a child.
It's a
What's that one right
it's a
behind
lot
you?
of work.
Yeah.
Right behind you.
You know, it's
Right behind you. The little baby kitty.
well, and I'm kind of
Oh, her?
I'm not like a neat freak, but I like things clean, and having like a long-haired
Like,
German
like,
Shepherd
turn
in the
around.
woods. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
yeah.
just wet and muddy,
that one?
you know, and they come inside and want to shake, and it was just like, okay, I can't do this.
Yeah, what's that one?
That's
Like
gravy.
whenever people come in the house,
I don't know.
I love that whole take your shoes off. You know, that whole Asian take your shoes off thing when you
Yeah.
come in the
Yeah.
house.
Not my thing.
I insist
that
that
kitty's
like
name?
I have a
I have
nice
a
little-
shoe rack
Yeah,
right inside my apartment.
exactly.
We wear slippers. So we keep the outside in like a little area, and then we put slippers on for the rest of the house.
So
I can't be barefoot.
No, that works too.
Mhm.
It's just tracking the outside stuff inside.
Yeah.
It just makes
Dude,
sense.
you're my hero, Jeff, because I have 3 or 4.
Yeah,
Someone
like
told me I was
Pacific
crazy. I
Islanders,
think you can have 3 or 4.
freaking Asians, like everybody. I love that. Like whenever I go to those places, and you know they have you kick your shoes off and stuff. I'm like, that just makes fucking sense.
It's kind of like energetic too, like spiritual. Like they don't like bringing the outside energy into the home,
Yeah.
so
Feng
they don't
shui.
like to track that. Feng shui.
Yeah.
What house slippers do you have? Because I need some.
I got Filas.
Oh, some Fila.
They're pink and they're chunky, and I like them.
Are they actual slippers or like chunkless?
They're kind of like just like
Chunkless.
they're kind of like you know those Adidas, like just like the band in the front, but the rest is just like basically a flip flop, but it's not in between the toes. It's kind of like a band over the foot.
Yeah.
So that's the kind I wear, because I like to wear socks too. So especially in the winter, so I could just slip them in. Don't have to worry about that the toe thong fucking up my foot.
Flossing the big toe.
That's my 3rd kitty that's not with us right now. He's in California.
Okay. I thought you were gonna say he died.
Oh no.
She's like thought you meant it died or something. That was a memorial.
He threw them all in the street. He just assumed they died. But this little guy, not very smart, he found this lady across the street and just sat outside her window for 2 straight days until she finally was like, "Is this cat still outside my window?" And then she just went and got him, and then calls me, uses that name tag thing, you know, the collar thing. And I'm in Michigan, and I get this text, "I found your cat." I'm like, "What?"
Oh my god.
House? And I'm like, "Wait a minute. If you found one of them, where are the other ones?" She's like, "Well, I've only got one, and he's been sitting outside my window for 2 straight days." I'm like, "Oh." She's like, "But I have a German Shepherd that's like 102 pounds, so I can't take him in my apartment. The German Shepherd will eat him." I'm like, "Yeah, please don't do that." So she sat in her lobby for 7
Well,
hours.
hold on. I have a whole new round of questions. So Jeff, how does owning cats, or you know, I mean pets in general, but we all kind of own cats, but Jeff, how does owning cats like play into dating? Because some people are allergic to them, some people don't like, you know, cats or dogs.
Get rid of them.
Yeah,
No,
bye.
I want to hear, Jeff, like what how do you navigate that?
Well, I haven't really been dating anyone since well, me and my ex split up
in
at the
general.
beginning of last year, but
In general.
Like
well,
before that.
3 of them. So the rule was, or she doesn't want other females around her cats because 3 of them
No,
are
no, no, no,
technically
no, no.
hers.
I don't mean
And
that
so-
dynamic. I just mean you in general. You own cats,
But
and you're
I
you're
want
dating
them-
girls and stuff, and they're like, oh, I don't like cats. How do you handle that?
no, I don't. You
would
you
just
have to
be-
be okay
they'd be
being around the
dismissed.
cat.
Yeah, they'd be
And,
dismissed.
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
Good.
Well,
Gina.
there was one girl that I was talking to, and it lasted about a week because she was like, "Well, I'm allergic to cats, but it'll be okay." And she came around and was just like almost deathly allergic. She had to get an EpiPen one time. I was like, "No, this
Oh
isn't."
fuck,
like,
yeah, that's not gonna work.
Nope. So, yeah, it's no.
All right, Gina, like
Yeah.
what like same question.
Well, I used to always have like a black cat.
Of course you did.
I I had a couple of traumatic experiences with them, but I haven't really had a problem with people, not liking them or anything, or being allergic. If they were, then the cat comes with me,
Yeah.
So it's you hit the door if you don't like it.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I can't have any cats because of the experiences that I had. Like the SPCA killed my cat after a day of being there, and I even went and because like it fell off the 4th floor balcony.
Yeah.
My neighbor brought it inside. My downstairs neighbor brought it to the SPCA, and obviously it must have been injured. They said it was aggressive. I explained that was my cat, and this is what it looks like. And they're like, yeah, that matches the description of a cat that we have, but it's not a boy, it's a girl. But it actually was my fucking cat. It was a boy. They lied about it. I came back the next day and I'm like, no, my neighbor said this is where they brought him. And they pull me, I wait 2 hours. They pull me into the back office and they said, we euthanized your cat, but you can adopt a kitten for free.
What
I was
the
like,
fuck?
are you kidding me? I was like, you lied and said that it was a girl when you weren't sure. It was you killed it after a day of being there.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me. So after that, I was like, I don't want your fucking kitten. I don't want a cat ever again. So it was just a really crazy experience, and I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. It'll break my heart if anything happens again like that. So I love cats, but yeah, I'm sticking with lizards.
I'd be like that guy fucking on the news that that vet that they had his dog or had his cat, and he like fucking like went in packing and it was just like, give me my fucking cat or give me my dog. That'd be me if anybody freaking tried to take my cat. I'd be kicking in doors. I'd be going like full tactical.
No, yeah, I bitched the lady out.
I'd go
I was like,
seal
how
team-
could
I'd go
you? And
seal
I
team-
didn't know they were a kill shelter. I thought they kept the
Oh.
animal,
Yeah.
but they're a fucking kill shelter, and it's crazy.
No,
really crazy.
I don't know. I actually I feel more connected to animals than I do people.
Yeah. People are they can be really disgusting.
Yeah.
In their attitudes
Oh, just everything.
and yeah.
Animals, what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
Animals, they don't lie, they don't cheat.
And they love you unconditionally.
Well, it's not unconditionally. They know they're not going to bite the hand that feeds them. It's a symbiotic relationship. But no, it's just what you see is what you get. They're just honest. That's like my thing. I love fucking integrity. I love like anybody that I can trust their word. They're in my inner circle. If you're a person of integrity and what you say is what you do, and in your actions match your words, you're in my inner circle. But if you're not a person of integrity, I want nothing to fucking do with you.
Yeah. I need honest people. I would rather deal with an honest asshole than a nice liar any day.
Absolutely.
Any day. I love honest assholes because at least you're honest, and I know you're fucking honest. You know?
That's why I'm so against this whole fucking like censorship and hate speech and all that bullshit. Is like, you know what? I want somebody that's honest enough to admit they're a fucking racist. At least then I know who I'm fucking dealing with, and I can choose to not fucking associate with them if I don't want to.
Yeah.
If somebody's a sexist or if somebody's whatever, one of these buzzwords, I want to fucking know so I can not waste my time involving that person in my fucking life.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Malik, Varoshi says hello. I think he's gone.
I think he's off.
Oh, did he go take a nap? Like,
no, I hear an echo of him. I think he's talking on the phone or something.
Okay. I'll let him know later.
Dude, when so it was like 2 or 3 years after we had got the cats. They're like 10 years old now. Me and the black cat had a little. We didn't have the closest relationship, and so it was during an acid trip, and I was cuddling with him, and I feel like I could talk to him, and it was just like having this connection with him. And ever since then,
were you on mushrooms, Jeff? Were you on mushrooms?
That was the acid trip.
I love acid.
Oh yeah. And man, I was talking to him, and like ever since then, me and him have been cool.
That's awesome.
But yeah, any psychedelic trip around the cats, they love coming around and just like being next to you, and it's I don't know. It's something special.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Oh,
Matthew.
That looks a lot like freaking my cat. What's that one's name, Jeff?
That's Gravy.
So is Gravy one of the ones that will come up here if you get a mini cabin to put on the property here?
Yeah, she is mine. The other three are the OGs.
So those of you out there that don't know, we're starting a crypto community. Like so far, we got Ellie, we got Jay, we got Jeff, we got me, and we got a couple other people, and we're talking about like starting a little crypto community with like having baby cows and chickens and a garden and just freaking living like a little commune, like
I like
just.
that.
But yeah, we're all going to do DeFi and play Arc Raiders, play video games and just chill and just enjoy life.
Yeah, how do you have Wi-Fi in the middle of the woods? What do you do?
Well, I got Starlink, but this spring they're actually installing fiber optic.
Okay.
Right?
Good. Wow.
No, I tripped out. I was going out my driveway. My driveway is about a half mile long, and I drove out. When I hit the main road, there was a bunch of guys working, and I'm like, "Oh, are you guys like burying the power lines?" Because out here in the woods, trees are always going down and taking out the power. And I'm like, "Oh, you guys burying the power line?" Like, no, we're installing fiber optic. I'm like, internet, and they were like, "Yeah." I was like, "Holy shit!" I was like, "All right." And so yeah, this spring I'm getting hooked up.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Fuck yeah.
So my phone's dying, and I gotta put my son to bed real quick. I love you guys. Thank you for having me on and giving me this opportunity as always.
Oh, always. You're always welcome, Gina.
Thank you. I'll be on again.
All right. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye. Yeah, Elise said, I'll drink the Kool-Aid, the crypto Kool-Aid.
Oh, hell yeah. No,
we'll make sure to have the Kool-Aid without the food dyes.
Yeah, we'll make sure we have the Kool-Aid without the fucking punch. Like the what was that?
The knockout punch.
No, what was the name of that? The chat, tell me, what was the name of that? With I think Alex Jones was the guy's name. That where they had the poison fucking Kool-Aid, like back in the 80s or the 70s down in South America. It's called like Jonestown. Jim Jones, that's it. Ellie.
Yeah. Jim Jones.
No, it's
yeah, that was crazy. 78.
Yeah. And yeah, no, we're not doing anything like that. This is just freaking people that with like-minded people just living healthy and freaking growing their own food, being self-sustaining, and enjoying crypto, enjoying life.
Yeah, I think the problem with
Guyana,
with
yeah.
The problem comes when the community gets too large, and then you have so many of these people that are just coming, and you don't really know the people. You're just like, oh yeah, come to the commune, come here and live this great life, and you don't really. It just becomes crazy in this power struggle and stuff. So you need to keep the tribe in a respectable number and know the people.
Well, I think the big thing is whenever you get tribes, it's usually there's somebody that kind of helps keep things organized, and you just got to make sure that that person has everybody's best interest at heart, because it's real easy, I think, for somebody that has like ulterior motives. It seems like those types of people always have like this hunger for power over other people and money and things like that. It's you have to have people that like everyone has to have a vested interest in the well-being of the other people. Like back like Native American tribes and stuff like that, to where everyone genuinely cared about the other person, and so they want to make sure everyone's happy and successful and thriving, because otherwise it just degrades.
Yeah. Oh, have you ever seen oh my god, I'm blanking on the movie Midsummer.
Oh, I never watched it. I know what you're talking about, but go ahead.
Oh my god. Yeah, if anyone hasn't seen this movie, let me see. Here, I'll just share a yeah, if anyone hasn't seen this movie, Midsommar, it's really good. But man, don't watch it at night because it's kind of fucked up. But it's really fucking good. Just
What are you
like
talking about? That's like the best time to watch fucked up movies, is in the dark.
oh man, yeah. I've seen it quite a few times, but yeah, it's definitely one that I would put on the list. So
Well, Jeff, we need to start planning like later on in the spring. Like the perfect time would be what, March, April, probably like June. I like sometime during June. Like if anybody that's interested, just have it to where it's like, if Ellie wants to come up, if you want to come up, if Jay wants to come up, whoever wants to come up, but like everybody come up in June for a couple of days or something like that, and check out the area. Just, and like I said, I can get a bunch of kayaks. We can go out kayaking and go to like a couple of waterfalls, go cliff diving. We can camp out on the island down by the creek, and freaking barbecue and cook up some steaks, and there's a bunch of cool stuff we can do around here. But I mean, you even need to come back up, because when you came up it was snowing, so like there's a bunch of cool stuff that we couldn't go do.
Oh, I know. And it was like a winter wonderland out there when I went, but yeah, being able to see all the lush green forestry and actually get to do
we
some
can
things.
we can hike like the tallest mountain in the area, and the view, like we can actually start at like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, so that we get up there for sunrise. And dude, it is such an epic fucking, I've tried to take pictures, but it just does not capture it. And but yeah, hiking up with headlamps, like in the morning, and then be up there, just relaxing and chilling for fucking sunrise, is the most epic fucking thing you'll ever do, dude. And yes, fucking Ellie, there's you can fish. There's we can go to the Columbia River. We can go. There's a bunch of lakes and rivers around here. We can go catch sturgeon and salmon and trout and all kinds of shit.
Sturgeon. We got some sturgeon over here.
But
the one my buddy catches all the time.
Yeah, no, they're crazy looking too, because they haven't changed in like millions of years. They like still look the same as they did like back in prehistoric times. There's fossils that they've found that
They're
are, you know,
pretty big.
What's that?
Pretty big, no?
Oh no, they get huge. I forget exactly, but I think they get like 8 or 13 feet or some shit.
Shit.
No, dude, like you have to have like a deep sea fishing rod to catch it, some of them, because they're just so fucking big and they're bottom feeders like catfish. So they pull like a fucking tow truck. So like,
Oh,
yeah, no, they're like fucking strong as shit. And like their back is nothing but like bone and cartilage. So I mean, they're like armored. They're crazy looking, dude.
damn. I caught a catfish when I was like 12, and it was tough for me to pull in. And it was like only a 2 or 3 pound catfish, but it was fucking tough.
I grew up, you know, fishing. Like that's actually without fishing, we would have gone hungry. Like I literally fished a couple times a week just because, you know, so we had food.
Damn. So you were out there really, you were getting the experience early.
Well, I mean, we were living in the city, but well, not the city, but I was living in Utah, but we were living like inside, you know, one of the bigger cities. But there's a bunch of places that you can go fishing, and so like we we used to go
Okay.
to this golf course that was in the city because they have like all those little ponds, and there was a huge lake that was right off the golf course, and it just so happens that there was a tube, you know, one of those big metal tubes that went under the freeway that went to to the big lake from there to allow the water to come in for the golf course. But it was a choke point. Like me and my dad figured out it was a choke point for the fish. And so there was just like I mean, a super high concentration of fish there. So we would go there and we'd, you know, throw a treble hook in, you know, like a 3-pronged hook, like a grappling hook in with, you know, like livers on it and, you know, different things like that. And these massive catfish, we would just be yanking catfish out and we'd get, you know, a half dozen of them, take them home, let them soak in salt water. Like, you know, we'd brine them or put them in
Mhm.
buttermilk and it leaches out the muddiness, like, because catfish are bottom feeders.
Oh,
And so it gets that muddiness out of them. And then you can, you
oh,
know, use cornmeal or whatever you want and, you know, bread them and deep fry them and, you know, do whatever, you know, cook them however you want. And they don't have that gritty taste to them.
damn, that's a good little hack.
Mhm.
Oh, Jay said same as shark. Got to soak them in milk.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, it
Hey,
takes the
hey.
gaminess out of them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they say to do with liver. Like when you cook liver, you want to soak it or something in buttermilk or milk to get the gaminess out. I like the taste of it. So
I don't know. There's some stuff I like its natural gaminess. Venison, you know, deer,
yeah,
as long as they're not in areas of high sagebrush, because when they're in those areas and the junipers, it's the taste of the meat gets real. I mean, well, you've had, you know, smelled sage before.
yeah.
It's very strong, and so like the meat
Mhm.
has that flavor, and it's just too much. But if you get
Okay.
up in the conifers, you know, in the altitudes that have the pine trees and things like that, they have a better taste to them.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, Ellie, so my liver, I'm not cooking it anymore. I actually, since I do my smoothies every morning,
You
like
blend it.
protein and berries. Yeah, so when I buy the liver, I'll chop it up and put it in a food processor and puree it. And then I'll put it in these little silicone cube trays and I'll freeze it into these little cubes. And I'll put like 3 or 4 of these cubes in my smoothie and you can't really taste it at all. So it's just the easier and having it raw like that, you're not losing as much of the nutrients like you would if you cooked it. So yeah, it's make sure it's grass fed, or not, some processed bullshit.
She's asking what's the benefit of, you know, adding the liver.
Oh, it has way more nutrients in it than regular beef.
It's like Nacho Libre. It has the nutrients.
Nutrients.
It has the nutrients.
Yeah, it's just way better for. But you shouldn't eat a ton of it at a time.
It has a lot of iron, so like
Yeah.
you probably want to be a little bit more on the conservative side as a lady.
Yeah, well, so men, since we don't bleed, once a month, you should really get your blood taken or donate blood or even like do lab work every quarter, because you get all the iron out and stuff, so you don't have iron toxicity. Women, you might be more beneficial to eat a little more liver, but yeah, for men, like it's good to get your blood taken and stuff to
Dude, that's one thing we'd have to do if we had a little community up here. We'd have to do combatives training. We'd definitely have to do like some knife fighting training and do some hand-to-hand combat stuff. Just for the exercise, just for the discipline and the exercise of it.
Yeah, and not being afraid to be physical with somebody, if you needed to.
Oh no, absolutely. No, it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really enjoy, just, fitness in general. And I know you do too, just, fitness in general and just, being able to, just being able to handle yourself, just know that if there's a situation, and it's not necessarily that you're going to, win in every situation, but that you have the ability to at least, handle yourself in some sort of way.
Yeah. Yeah. Jay said Civil War happens, we'll be ready. Or a
Well,
lights out situation.
you don't want to go out like a bitch, you definitely want to freaking. I mean, I want to go to Valhalla, man. It's like I want to freaking go out and and battle.
Yeah, yeah. Like a lot of these people in these protests, that want to get in conflict or they're ready for a revolution, have never even been physical with anybody, and then they're out there screaming and yelling.
Let's dive into that. So it's just me and you. There's only two voices here, and don't get me wrong. I love when we have the big forums because I love the different points of view. But let's dive into that a little bit. So, we were talking about earlier where you have these two, very different narratives. You have the right, narrative where, ICE is, doing their, and I'm not saying I agree or disagree with any of this. I'm just stating the facts. You have the kind of the right side of the spectrum that, ICE is doing their job. They're, if Biden and, Harris, that was, supposed to be the border czar, did her job and secured the border, that, ICE wouldn't have to be doing what they're doing now and combing the streets, looking for illegal aliens and deporting them and doing all this. None of this would be necessary. This is the rights, thought process. None of this would be necessary if Biden and Harris would have secured the border. It's not fair to, people who come here legally, go through the process, do all the things, jump through the hoops. That's their point of view. And then there's the left where, their point of view is these are just people that are trying to find a better life. And they're trying to get away from bad places, the bad things are going on, and there shouldn't be borders, and, that, everybody should have, the same opportunities, and, that it's, two very different ways of looking at the same situation. But like, what is your stance? Like, what is your thoughts on it?
Oh, I mean, I think it's kind of like an overcorrection. Like you have one extreme, and then now, I definitely agree we should be sending like criminals and stuff back. It is a little crazy to be raiding Home Depots, but they have found criminals hanging out there. So it's hard to say, don't go, raid Home Depots, because these are people who have been here for a decade or 2 decades, that are just caught up. But at the end of the day, it is a misdemeanor You know, you come over illegally, it's a misdemeanor, and you get deported, right? And if you don't get caught, I mean, my brother had to spend a weekend in jail for uh, a certain misdemeanor, and you know, we didn't say, well, he shouldn't be in jail. You shouldn't have arrested him. Well, he fucking broke the law. You know, he was wrong place, wrong time. He was actually sitting in his car when the cop came up and was like, "What are you doing sitting here?" And they searched him, and he went to jail. And so you can be mad all you want, but if you get caught, wrong place, wrong time.
You know what? Let's actually go. Let's go on a different topic. This is something that I've always been curious about. I wish we had more people in the in here right now for this. So, what is your thoughts on? So, we have a government that I think we can all agree, left, right, middle, that they have way too much power. Well, I don't think that everyone would agree on that. I think anybody with two brain cells knows that the government has way too much power. They take way too much from us, from taxes and fees and fines and licenses and, everything. They mismanage the shit out of it. I don't, Democrat, Republican, it doesn't matter. They all waste money. And if they need more, they just print more. So, like, what is your thoughts on how would you fix this clusterfuck that seems to be going on right now? Like if you were king for for a year or for 5 years, like what would you do to fix this totally fucked up system, that we're dealing with?
But yeah, just real quick, Elise said there are many people who spent 10 plus years, their whole life savings to become U.S. citizen. And I agree. I think that
I have a neighbor, like freaking Weepaw,
yeah,
freaking that lives next door. Like she married my buddy that helped me build the cabin. Freaking, she's from Thailand, and it took her and him 8 fucking years to get her here, and tens of thousands of dollars doing it the right way. It's not fair to those people. And I'm not saying that there shouldn't be a huge overhaul of our immigration policies and our immigration laws. I 100% agree. My only point is that either we're a nation of laws or we're not. And if we're not, the whole system fails. We need to come together as left and right. We need to get people into office. We need to get a lot of these people out of office. We need to come up with a way to kind of reset our system with people that understand the real fucking world. These career politicians have no clue what it's like to live out as a normal fucking American. We need to get people in there that understand what it's like to live as an American, because people are hurting financially and across the board.
Yeah, and what do you think happens when you bring in all these people? The resources get taken up. Like I tell some of my friends, you invite 20 people into your home, and you have to feed them and take care of them. And make sure, at some point, you're gonna end up on the fucking street too, because you're gonna go broke. And
that whole proverb or whatever that teach a man to fish or give a man a fish. If you give a man a fish, you're always going to be giving a man a fish. If you teach a man to fish, if they come in legally, they have to work for it, and they get a job, and because that's part of becoming a citizen, they have to have a job. They can't be taking public assistance. That contributes to that society. They're paying taxes. They're doing a job. They're buying things. They're doing all of the things that make the system work. If that breaks down, you're in a nation in collapse. And that's what we're looking at right now, is we got way too many people that are pulling resources out of the system and not enough people that are putting into the system.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of people are, they'll try and say, oh, well, we spent so much on our military budget. We can cut some of that back, and all the massive fraud going on there, but everything needs to be looked at. I think that all these systems, once you're able to get the corrupt people out, like we got to figure out a way to filter out
But how do
the
you
deep
do
state.
that?
Like okay, so the deep state. These are people who are factions of the government, right? Little pieces of the government who are.
But is it
trying to block people? Because look at Trump's first term. There were people that were involved in the government that were trying to John Bolton and all those guys.
Very, very hawkish. Like Bolton is very hawkish.
So
and those that don't know, hawkish means he's very aggressive. Like he's all about like his knee jerk reaction is go to war.
Yeah. So like these little groups inside the CIA, FBI, all like NSA, all these different people who are trying to block the corruption from being exposed, or the fraud, or they're trying to keep the system going as is. I don't know how we get those people out unless we teach the younger generation that coming in, like, we have to make it to where you can't be a career politician. Do it like back in the early days, at the beginning, where you would work a regular job and go to DC for certain things and then come back and work your regular job. I know you had that thing about that. Every couple years or so.
Yeah. The way that I would fix this is exactly what you're saying.
And audit the systems.
Well, the founding
social systems.
Well, the founding fathers, they were all business owners, and they were young. A lot of people think they were all like the old men and old white men. That's when I know that's when I know somebody is just fucking parroting what they heard from a professor or some propaganda. Because the founding fathers, a lot of them were in their 20s and 30s. Like they were young. They were just educated. They came from money. And they wore the powdered wigs and stuff like that, but a lot of them were young men. And they just fucking, people were a lot fucking smarter in a lot of ways back then. And they were all business owners that felt it was their duty to their country to step away from their businesses. And a lot of times they left their wives and other people to run their businesses, and they lost money serving their country. It was actually public service, not like it is now. They call them public servants, but they're serving nobody but themselves. So that's what we need to get back to. And personally, and this is just my opinion, it doesn't mean shit, but the way that I would fix it is I would have a lottery. You have to take a test. You have to have a basic understanding of how government works. You have to understand, have some level of intelligence, and you're entered into the lottery. And
if you're a citizen,
yes, and a U.S. citizen, and it's, we can get into the details of that, but basically, if your number gets pulled, you might be a plumber, you might be a fucking psychiatrist, you might be a doctor, you might be a mechanic, you might be a welder, but you might end up being a senator or a congressman or a president. And when you're in that position, maybe not president, but senators and congressmen, but you serve for like 2 years or 4 years or whatever. We decide, but you get a salary, and then we don't have to worry about elections. We don't have to worry about people getting bought and then being in there for a lifetime. They're there for 2 years, 4 years, and then afterwards, just like when I was in the military, anybody that's in the military, that's in the reserves or the National Guard, their job, if they're called to active service to deploy, their job by law, it's called the Soldier and Sailors Relief Act. By law, they have to keep that person's job. And if they were, to receive any sort of promotions or, anything like that, they have to get that when they get back. And, like as far as like a status at their job, and they serve their country just like they would if they're in the military. And once they're done, they go back to their old job, and somebody else, gets pulled from the lottery. And then you have people that actually understand what it feels like to live in the real fucking world where you're dealing with inflation, and when you're dealing with, DEI, and you're dealing with, all these fucking weird ass policies that these out of touch politicians come up with. But that's just my 2 cents. I'll get off my fucking soapbox.
Yeah. No, and it's good to, you would definitely need that that kind of clause to hold, because if you're forced to go, like in Korea, right? Korea, you're required to do 2 years of service.
Yeah, so a
And
lot of
so-
countries are like that. Basically, in Korea, there's 2 types. So, and it's kind of fucked up if you think about it, but you have the rock soldiers. So, like, if you're poor and you can't you go to college, you end up as a rock soldier, and that is fucking hardcore. Like, I won't get into that, but they mean business. When you are in a country where North Korea is a constant threat, and China and all that, they're serious business in their military. And then there's something called a Katusa, and it's an abbreviation. I forget what it fucking stands for, but a Katusa is they're attached to the U.S. military, so they live with us, they eat with us, they train with us, but they are able to go to college at the same time, or they're in college. So there is kind of a caste system, where people that can afford to go to college can do their 2 years in a much more cush environment than the poor people.
Yeah, but you would need something like that to help retain those people, bring them back, because you don't want to go off and for 2 years in to go to DC, for your political service, and then come back to no job, because then what are you gonna?
No.
Yeah.
Like I said, I mean, it would be an easy thing for them to be like, hey, when this person is done, they need to be able to come back to your company and do what they were doing, and just that'd be easy enough to do. Like I said, they do it with fucking millions of fucking service members, or hundreds of thousands of fucking service members. They can do it for, a couple of hundred fucking people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and that also incentivizes you not to be, one, a career politician, and 2, you're gonna do what's best for the people, because you are part of that system, and you're not gonna do something to corrupt that. Like, oh fuck, whatever decision I make is gonna come back to bite me in the ass if I'm not careful.
Exactly. And something else they need to do is figure out some way to, because currently, congressmen and senators and shit like that, anytime they want a pay raise or anything, any benefits, they vote on that shit for themselves. And that needs to be fucking fixed. Like, that needs to go on ballots, where we vote on it or something like that. Because, I mean, that's just fucking bullshit. That they can just be like, oh yeah, we need to fucking make another 50 grand a year. All in favor? Aye. That's fucking bullshit. Their retirement fucking program is like way out of whack. They get like fucking top tier medical fucking benefits for the rest of their life. Like, that shit needs to get fucking fixed.
Yeah, at least, term limits. Like that was saying, at least 2 years. 2 years would be good. I mean, I think, anything more than 4 would start getting, I don't know. I mean,
it shouldn't be more than 4. It shouldn't be more than 4.
Yeah. And all these social programs, definitely need to be audited and tracked and made sure that people weren't getting stuff that they weren't supposed to be getting. I mean, if you're able-bodied and stuff, I know people that have scammed the SNAP, but there are people who need it. But
dude, if you're collecting public assistance, you should be required to show up at some office somewhere, some government office. If you're a single mom, they should have it to where you show up to some office and they train you. You get fucking training on how to do a job. They have daycare, like on-site daycare, to where they train some of the people and they can rotate them out or whatever. to where they watch the kids on site. So like on your breaks and stuff, you can go check on your kids, know that they're being taken care of, and, basically, have it to where it gives people training to where they can get off the fucking system. And if not, they're providing a service to the taxpayer. I mean, at least they're, we're not paying somebody to do a job that, if we're going to pay somebody in benefits, we might as well get something, from that. I mean, makes sense to me. So, if that's answering phones, if that's, filing paperwork, if that's, sitting at a counter and, at the DMV, whatever it is, easy enough. If you're going to get paid by the taxpayer, you might as well provide a service for it. And I understand if you're a single mom and you have kids, it's hard to do that. But if there's on-site childcare services, there's no excuse.
Yeah. Both Jay and who's this? Not Scooty Boy. Both of you guys set a damn age limit. Not Mitch McConnell malfunctioning on air.
No shit.
Yeah.
No, like fucking Mitch McConnell was like falling down and like couldn't put together two sentences, and then you got Feinstein where they're wheeling her around in a freaking wheelchair, and she had like no idea where she was even at.
She died the day or 2 days before she died. Somebody had to vote on her behalf. They were like sitting there. That's fucking horrible.
Insane, dude.
It's horrible. I mean, you're propping this person up like Weekend at fucking Bernie's. And
exactly. It's fucking insane, dude. I don't care if you're left or right. That is fucking insane.
Yeah. And there was video of her from the 90s talking about the immigration problem in California. And I was like, oh, fuck.
Dude, there's Obama that you showed earlier. There's Obama. Yep. There's fucking Hillary Clinton saying the same shit. There's Bill Clinton.
They acknowledged this in the past that they were getting benefits. So now they're not? All of a sudden? No, they're not getting benefits.
You know what the difference is?
Fuck off, man.
Because they figured out a way to allow it to where basically they're using our tax dollars to bring them here so that they can swing the vote. David talked about it a couple episodes ago where he worked for the state of California and was helping people get on, basically, government assistance and getting them IDs and getting them fucking registered to vote to swing, California, more blue.
Yep. Yeah. And the whole, healthcare thing. So Bernie Sanders was on Theo Vaughn's podcast, and he kept harping on this free healthcare for all. And I was thinking of like Canada, they have free healthcare up there. And I've heard so many stories of people that need surgeries or appointments, and it takes like 8 months. And you're fucked. You know, so okay.
There's a caste system up there. So I live right, I live right on the Canadian border. Yeah. So the people that I talked to, and the last company I worked for was based out of Canada. And so I used to go up there all the time to, like the headquarters, but it was in Quebec. So
Quebec.
Yeah. So there's basically like a caste system up there. There's the normal people that go to the government funded shit, and they wait in the waiting room basically for 8 hours a day or more just to see somebody to get screened. Like, hey, I'm having an issue, like a general practitioner, basically, where I'm having this issue. And so they might sit there for 8 hours. And then once they get seen, then that doctor or that, person that screens them will be like, okay, well, you need to see somebody about a shoulder, or you need to see somebody about, you might have cancer or whatever. All right, we're going to schedule that. And that might be a couple of weeks. That might be a couple of months from now. And it's like, because everybody just goes to the doctor for fucking everything. And it just floods the fucking system.
Elise said her friend's in Canada and said you could wait days in the ER if you have to go.
Yeah. It's honestly, it's why I'm so huge on being like self-sufficient. Like, I love that I have medical training. I don't know how many times I've like split my head open on the property, like doing shit or something like that, and I just take some super glue and I'll just put like super glue on it.
Yeah.
And basically just give it a couple seconds and it's an instant suture. I used to do it in the military all the time. It's called liquid stitches. If you go to the emergency room,
Yeah.
they'll charge you a couple $100, for that by itself, and it'll probably end up being like over $1,000 for the emergency room visit. But basically, to put super glue on your fucking laceration.
Yeah, I had a little of that. So there's this slice. I sliced my hand right here. When during a track meet, I was doing long jump, and when I landed in the pit, I planted with my hands and leapt forward, and my foot struck my fucking hand, and I knew immediately that I sliced my hand open, and I had to go to this like emergency care place because it was like a Saturday, and I was like 3 hours from home, and so they like gave me little stitches and then super glued it, and then I had to wrap. So I went back to the track meet and I had to run a race, and my hand was wrapped up like this, and I was just like,
well, it made you more aerodynamic.
Yeah. But yeah, it was like they gave a few stitches, but had to do the super glue thing, and I was like, dude, I don't remember how much it was, but
it fucking works, man. It's I don't know. It's yeah, DCA and pray. Honestly, like even at the hospital, it's super glue. The liquid stitches. That's all it fucking is. Like the aspirin that they probably charge you like $60 or $100 for, is an aspirin that you could get down at the local fucking fucking drawing a blank at the local pharmacy, whatever your pharmacy is. You can go down and get a bunch of aspirins or a bunch of fucking ibuprofen. It's what they're charging you $60 for, every time they give it to you when you're in the hospital.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the other thing that pisses me off when it comes to the medical stuff. It's like, I'd almost be okay with having universal health care if they actually address the cost of fucking health care first.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, if we're going to pay for it as taxpayers, I want the price for an aspirin or an ibuprofen to be the same in a hospital as it is if I go down to my local fucking, CVS, my local pharmacy, and buy it.
The insurance
where I can buy a bottle for
and
fucking $4 or $5.
Yeah, the insurance companies and the pharmaceutical companies, there needs to be an overhaul of that, and there shouldn't be any revolving doors between government agencies and those entities. That becomes a problem too, because
that's another fucking thing. Is in Washington, there shouldn't be fucking lobbyists. There shouldn't be fucking special interests. I don't give a fuck what they think. They're corporations, and they have a vested fucking interest and way more money. So it gives them a louder voice in Washington than we the people. If anybody in Washington, if fucking ever gets caught taking a single fucking dollar from anybody other than their salary from the American fucking people, they should be banned immediately removed from office and fucking banned for life from ever serving in any public office.
Yeah.
If not,
and you get royalties for shit too, kickbacks.
Well, and they can't accept a job other than their original job. It's because that's the weird thing, dude. It's a delicate dance because there's people that have an agenda are always going to find a way to work the system. And it's on both ends. You have people at the bottom end that are working the welfare system and the public assistance. And you have people at the top end that's working the lobbyists and the special interests and controlling the politicians. Everybody has a fucking agenda. And you got to figure out a way to block as much of that as possible out. You're never going to get it all out, but you got to figure out a way to block as much of that out as possible if our way of life is going to fucking, survive the test of time.
And that has to start young, or because people develop that over time, or and how do you get people like the next wave coming into these positions to like racism? That racism is taught in the home. It's not like you don't just go out and
kids aren't born racist. Yeah,
no,
it's learned.
But yeah, how do you keep these people out of that system if they are, sociopaths like Gavin Newsom? How do you keep a guy like that from? He was literally on some podcast a few months ago, and is this I forget the name of the podcast, but there's a black dude and a black chick, and they were talking to him, and they said that they won't accept any money from, or they won't vote for anybody that accepts money from AIPAC. And Gavin was like, "Oh," he's like, "Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting." He just kept saying, "Oh, that's interesting." He's like, "Why is it interesting?" "Oh, because I haven't really, heard, or nobody's ever really talked about AIPAC." And I'm like, "You're full of fucking shit. You are such a sociopath that you'll." And he was saying something about he had to eat macaroni and shit.
Real quick. What are your thoughts on either Tuesday, the red pill on next Thursday, or Friday? We should have Jay, Ellie, and Elise on and have one of these types of forums, because I really want to. I really feel it's important to get a lot of different viewpoints from different people in different places, in different situations, that all and talk about these topics, because I don't want an echo chamber. I mean, my personal beliefs are my personal beliefs. It doesn't mean I'm right. It just means that it's my point of view is framed by my personal life experiences. And, and I have a very diverse life experience, but it's not the same as everybody. We truly do want to have people with varying points of view. I fucking hate echo chambers. I detest being in a group of people. It's boring as shit to me. If I'm in a group of people and whatever we talk about, we're all agreeing on, to me, I'm like, okay, I need to fucking like spread out a little bit. I need to meet some new people, because if you're not being challenged, if your point of view is not being challenged to where you have to really like reassess and take into account new information, you're not growing, you're stagnating. You need to, and this goes with crypto and investing as well, to kind of bring it back to the whole DeFi, crypto, and airdrops thing. This is all aspects of your life, and personal relationships. When we were talking about dating earlier, talking about politics, if you're talking about investing, everything, constantly seek to challenge whatever your point of view is. Seek out people that think differently. Seek out people that challenge and make you question how you think and how you act. It is it's what makes life worth living. It makes you grow as an individual. It makes you reassess how you view things and how you think things. Do not get sucked into these echo chambers. That is what the powers that be, Big Brother, wants, and not to be tinfoil hat, but that is people that seek to control you. They will use your emotions. They will use that hive think to get you in these echo chambers, because you're more easily you're more easily controlled. And forgive me, I'm buzzed. I'm fucking going on a fucking rant here. But it doesn't mean what I'm saying isn't fucking true. This, if you watch, anytime there's anything of merit, fraud, massive government fraud. If if COVID, where they're taking a disease that, yes, it took a lot of people's lives, but was it worth the price we paid? A whole generation spent a year or two in quarantine during their developmental years. People took untested vaccines. They don't know what the side effects are. And they distract us. Stop listening to to what you're being fed. Please, I beg of you, as somebody that served in the military for 22 fucking years, I fought for this country because I believe in this country. And I don't care what your political views are, left or right. And I'm giving my final thoughts here. I don't care what your political views are, left or right. I want everyone to be able to live the life they want to live without affecting the life of anybody else. That is liberty. That is freedom. You can think what you want. You can live how you want. But when it impedes on somebody else, if it's using their taxes, if it's using their labor, if it's using anything other than what you are giving, that is not right. I don't care if it's socialism. I don't care if it's fascism. It's everyone should be able to live the life they want to live, free of what somebody else dictates as right and good. That is liberty. That is freedom. Jeff, closing thoughts.
Yeah, and stand up for what you believe in. Like going to the COVID thing, I had family that didn't want to be around me if I didn't take the vaccine. And I mean, they were elderly and they had, their health issues and stuff. But I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna I'll come around you in a few years. We'll be apart for a while, but I'm not gonna compromise my, beliefs and my conviction that this is wrong. And if that means I have to take some time away from you, we can jump on phone calls or FaceTime, whatever. But, if you don't want me to be around unless I get that shot, then I'm not going to be around you, because I'm not going to sacrifice my future health or even a job. It was weird because the company I worked for at the time was a Chinese EV company, and they didn't require us to get the vaccine. And it was kind of funny because all the other companies around here, Facebook, Google, everybody was requiring that shit. My buddy worked at Roku. He had to get it or else he would have lost his job. And I was like, I looked at my girlfriend at the time. I was like, if they make me get this, I'm quitting my job. Like, we'll figure it out, but I'm not going to fucking have some company that doesn't give a shit about you, or you're only going to be there for a certain number of years, to compromise the long-term, like my long-term health. So I was ready to do whatever it took, if I had to quit my job. But, it might even put you back a few years, financially, if you're not in a good position. But sometimes it's better to take a hit in the short term than to compromise yourself in the long term. And, I'm glad that I stuck with that decision. And, family's now fine with me being around and stuff. But, just if you really believe and have conviction and you can back it up with not just like, oh, well, I don't know, if you can back up why you have this conviction and stuff,
Well,
then
that honestly, that's key. If I can respect, even if I don't agree with you, if you can back up how you feel on or your stance on something with facts and logic and not emotion or how you feel, I can respect it. Like DCA and Pray is perfect. Like I go back and forth all the time with DCA and Pray. Have nothing but respect for the dude. Politically, we disagree on a lot of points, but I still respect him because his is based so far on what I've seen, and I'd love to have him on the show. I respect because he's able to articulate in a logical way why he feels the way he does. Feelings, like I can feel however I want. Those are my personal feelings. It has no fucking effect on fucking Jeff. How I feel is my own personal thing. Logic and facts, and that's why it's so important that definitions matter. It's so important that what a man and a woman is matters. It's why it's so important that there's certain language that is universal, that it isn't fluid. It's you have to have a basis in which to start on to have a debate. Otherwise, none of it means anything. So sorry, I started getting on a rant again. I know I already gave my final thoughts.
No, that's perfect. Cause yeah, I backed it up with, logic and reason and why I felt the way like I felt, and I wasn't going to change that. It wasn't just some fear-based thing, but yeah. And also have discussions with people who you don't agree with, or that you aren't on the same page or side with. My family that is on the left, we have discussions quite a bit, and we challenge each other. And sometimes I'll pick up like, okay, I didn't see it that way, but it doesn't always change my mind or how I feel, but
no,
I can see.
But you can accept new information. You can process it, make it part of your thesis, and if it's enough to change in some small way or some big way how you view a certain topic or a certain subject, that shows that you are an intelligent person. I'll just say it that way. If you're able to do that, if you're able to listen, absorb, and process, and allow new information to reshape how you think, you are an intelligent person. If you are resistant to listening to a point of view that you don't agree with, and at least listen and process it. It doesn't have to affect how you live your life, but listen, truly understand it. And I challenge all of you out there to do this. Whenever you are debating somebody, even online, make sure you understand what the other person is saying. Repeat back what it is that you think that you're hearing. So like if me and Jeff are talking and he says something, be like, okay, so if I get you right, Jeff, this is what I understand that you're saying. And repeat back what you think you hear. And then it gives him a chance. It shows him that you're listening. And so it brings down his defenses. 2, it gives him an opportunity to be like, you got the gist of it, but no, this is what I meant. And it allows him the chance to clarify. And then it's like, oh, okay. So now fully what it is you're trying to say, this is what I think. And then he does the same thing. He's like, okay, this is what I'm hearing from you, Mike. And then he can process that, and then he can tell me to clarify if need be. And again, it makes me understand that, okay, he's listening, he's processing, he's not talking past me like you see all the fucking time on social media. That's I think a lot of the problem these days is that the nonverbal communication that people get on social media. There's something to be said for facial expressions, hand, signals. There's a lot to communication that's not verbal, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can.
Oh, what up, Hoopy?
If you're good at reading body language and stuff, or even feeling that energy from somebody, you can sense when things aren't quite being heard properly, or come across, you know.
Dude, that's why I live in the woods, brother. Is I can read people way too fucking good.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's very few people in this day and age that have integrity, that have honor. It's and it's family and friends and acquaintances for me. I mean, it's everybody. There's no one that's immune. I can read pretty much anybody like a book, and I eliminate people quickly if they're not good quality people, because life is too short.
Yeah.
Jeff, my brother Taylor, my brother Jason, Texas Jeff, just a lot of people in our community. Like, I'm getting to know Ellie and Jay and Elise, and it's you need to understand. And I know I keep this going. It happens when I'm buzzed.
That's a good
But
talk.
no,
Good
no.
lesson.
But what's that?
These are good lessons.
No, honestly, I mean, these are my, this is like what the lessons I've learned in my life, and I'm just sharing my personal, just like I do with DeFi. I'm sharing my personal experiences. Please don't feel like I'm telling you how to live. This is just how I live. This is just my, that whole my truth. This is my truth. This is do what you're gonna do. Please don't feel like I'm preaching to you. But me personally, life is too fucking short, and we don't know what's fucking next. Whatever your fucking religious beliefs are, cool. I hope that whatever you believe is, and what you're, happy with, I hope that happens for you. I really do. I'm not being condescending at all. Me personally, I'm agnostic. I understand I'm fucking stupid. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but it's way bigger than fucking me. I don't know what's fucking next. If there's a higher power, what that is, I have no fucking clue. And I'm not going to pretend like I fucking know. And if you're, Christian, if you're Catholic, if you're Buddhist, if you're I respect people of faith. If you believe what you believe and it makes you a better person, please keep doing that. But me personally, the way I'm wired is I just try to be a good person and, have a positive effect on other people, because that is the only thing that I can control, is how I interact with everything around me. I do that because that's what I believe, and not because I fear hell or some kind of negative punishment. Like I'm going to be a gimp and fucking with a zipper mask and a ball gag and fucking hell.
Have pineapples shoved up your ass every day.
Yeah, with a barbed dildo, whatever. But I would rather just fucking be a good person and not worry about being punished because I was a fucking dick in life. So anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, and it just feels good knowing that you're living a life of being a humble, helpful person and kind and caring, and just it just makes life a lot easier, because
if everybody did that simple thing, what a fucking amazing world this would be.
Yep.
If everyone just lived their life to where it's like, you know what, from the time my head leaves the pillow to the time that my head hits the pillow, if I was thoughtful in the way I lived my life, to where I sought to make my life and those I love better, but at the same time, I sought to make other people's lives better.
Did I hold the door open for somebody, or help pick up something that they dropped, or just something so simple?
Thank you, Jeff. No, exactly. It doesn't have to be something major. Just some small thing, just some small gesture. You never know what somebody's dealing with.
Oh yeah.
Holding the door open for somebody, or you're like, you're at the cash register at the grocery store and you see some old person that's obviously struggling. You can see what they're buying for food. You know if they're struggling. If you're in a good place, pay for their fucking groceries.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, just that small thing, you cannot imagine the impact that has on that person's life. You know, that's what's going to change the world. Not holding a picket sign, attacking ICE, or flying to DC to make yourself feel better, shaking a sign. Do something that's really going to make a fucking difference.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I got back into it.
No, I was in the chat. One small gesture can change someone's day. I said, I know a gesture that makes me happy.
No, so
that's my closing thoughts.
All right. Well, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and cut this off. I'm getting way too buzzed. I'm getting on soapboxes. I apologize.
No, yeah. Let's do next Thursday with some of the community. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, no, Elise, Jay, and Ellie. Let me know if you're open to it, because I would love to have you guys on, you guys and girls, and and just talk about some life stuff. I honestly, I mean, it's if we're gonna have this platform, whatever it is, I don't care how many eyeballs we get. You all know how that. I really just want to make sure that we're spreading a message, no matter how big or small, on trying to make people's lives better. If that's in DeFi, if that's in crypto, if that's in just life in general, whatever. That's what we want to be here for. So that's my 2 cents. Jeff, I appreciate you, brother, always showing up and being part of this, because it really is. I think it's important.
Yeah. The wrecking crew.
Well, and we appreciate all of you out there, fucking Hoofty, and again, DCA and Pray. Even though I sometimes Hoofty, I know that we disagree on XRP from time to time. DCA and Pray, we disagree politically. Fucking patting my crotch. I know you like dudes. I don't like dudes. But I'm just kidding. Fucking
we're coming after everyone. Nobody's off limits.
That's right. I don't care who your son is. But I appreciate you all. Ellie, Elise, Jay, freaking maybe we'll jump on and do a couple rounds of fucking
Matt said he's been waiting in the waiting room.
What's that?
Matt said, I've been in the waiting room for like 20 minutes. We didn't know that you were, we thought you left.
No, but he hasn't popped back up. I've kept him there, but he just never came back. So I just left him there.
Oh, man. Oh, they'll have to come back next week.
Hey, Hoofty, hold on. If you can get anybody to come on and have a logical debate with me about XRP, brother, please. It's somebody that is willing to prove me wrong. I have thrown this gauntlet down many fucking times. I know what I'm talking about XRP. You've watched me in Good Morning Crypto for like 5 fucking years. I have done deep fucking dives into XRP. I know the tokenomics. I know Ripple. I know the XRP ledger. I know RLUSD. I know all of it. If you can find anybody to come on that can logically justify why they should hold XRP, please steer them my way. I would love, and please prove me wrong. I love being proved wrong. It means that I need to rethink and I need to evolve. That's like, to me, that's fucking crack. I love being proved wrong. All right. XRP to $1.40. All right. Yeah, I agree. All right. Yeah, no. Yeah, Hoofty. Absolutely. Fucking come on and debate. Like I said, I'll always be respectful, and I'll let you say your piece. Anybody that's watched me for more than fucking 5 minutes knows that I'll you know, I'll let everybody have their voice. I might
Mhm.
interrupt you a couple times though. I'm just saying. I've been known to do that. All right.
With respect.
With respect. All right. Hey, Hoofty, reach out to me on X. If you want to come on sometime, I'd be more than happy to fucking do a special episode with just me and you. And if Jeff wants to join us, we can talk out XRP. And please, by all means, bring the heat. So that being said, I promise this is the end. Until next time, Veteran Crypto out.
Peace.